Hello, hello everyone. How are you doing? Happy Friday. Hope you all have had a good week. Let me welcome everybody in. Ellie, welcome in. Congrats on being first today. Thank you for collecting your daily blanket. S, welcome in. Badger, welcome in. Zeppy, welcome in. Rune, welcome in, love. How are you all doing today? I've had a busy morning. I caught the stray. I took them to the vet. Turns out, Stray is a boy, not a girl. Got them all checked out, no chip. But clean bill of health. So I brought them. Yeah, they are a mister. They are a mister. And so we now have a Raphael, is what I decided to name him. So complimentary with Leo's own name. He's still quarantined though. I have him quarantined and he was, oh, poor baby. He was so shook up at the vet. Like, he's a gentle boy. He's very timid. Poor thing was shaking through the whole appointment. But he's okay. And yes, he's quarantining for 2 weeks. And then I'll be able to start introducing him and Leo together. So this is a good time for me to make sure that he gets litter box trained in the meantime anyway. So it works out. Hi, Cray. Welcome in, love. But yeah, so Leo now will have a friend. Yes, I set up the bathroom. And yes, she is actually a he, which, to be fair to me, the vet took several minutes and had to grab a spotlight to confirm that. So I made a reasonable assumption, but he was already neutered. Cray, if you look in the Discord, I posted some pictures of him in the pets channel. He's like a gray tabby with a white chest, and he has green eyes. Yeah. Black and white tabby, standard issue cat. Yeah. He's like black and gray and, whatnot, but he's very, very sweet but very shy. The quarantine time will be good for him to get used to being indoors. But no, I've pretty much outfitted the bathroom right now because it's the only like room that I have that has both hard floors and enough space. So I've got him quarantined. Yes, he has little white socks. He does. He has little white socks. So I think he's adorable. And yeah, so once I can confirm that he's that he's consistently using the litter box, I'll probably move him to the bedroom so that he has more room. But right now my concern is making sure that he's litter box trained before I move him into one of my rooms that has carpet. So getting him litter box trained, yeah, it shouldn't take too long. You know, a couple days. I'm hoping by the end of the weekend, I'll be able to move his quarantine situation over to the bedroom, which will be more comfortable for him. Give him more space, some more cozy spots. and a window. So that's kind of the plan, but he tested negative for FIV, FELV, and heartworm. He's got his neck guard on right now, so that's another reason I'm not like chilling with him. I'm letting that sit so that he gets completely, because that has to sit for several hours to be fully effective. Yes, he's got toys. He has toys. I even gave him a scratch board. He's got blankets, food, water, the whole shebang. I've like I said, I've pretty much outfitted the bathroom in the meantime. Aw, thank you, Es. That means a lot to me. Yes, and I specifically picked up pet, toys on my way home last night that Leo hadn't interacted with yet, so that they wouldn't be scented by Leo. They were just going to be Raphael's toys, at least for now. That way, he hasn't been using the bed very much because, like I said, I've basically outfitted the bathtub at the moment with all this stuff. Except for the litter box, that's outside. But he's mostly been hiding behind the toilet right now. So, but we're giving him some time to settle in, get him used to being indoors, get him litter box trained, and then I can move him to the bedroom so that he can have more space to get used to during the rest of his quarantine before he meets Leo, and they start interacting. But yeah, vet also took a little bit to confirm whether Raphael was a boy or a girl. I had names picked out either way. But he's so timid that I think the transition to being an indoor cat is not going to be too difficult, because my complex has a lot of dogs, and he's been even when he's just by my window and stuff, because my window faces a courtyard area for my apartment complex, and on the ground floor. So he keeps getting barked at. He was getting barked at a lot by dogs. So I'm hoping the transition will be smooth, and that Leo being here already, being such the bold boy that Leo is going to really help him adapt. He's just scared, yeah. Yes, he'll never have to worry about anything ever again. He'll have food, he'll have water, he'll never be cold. So hopefully he adapts well and everything. But yeah, so Leo and Leonardo and Raphael, we got him all vaccinated up. I have a follow-up in 3 weeks with him to take him back to my vet. And we'll go from there. Yes. I'm hoping, because Leo is so outgoing, that Leo will be able to help bring him out of his shell. They estimated Raphael to be about 3 years old. So he's not that much older than Leo, about a year or so. He has a little bit. Leo has had a little bit of interest in the bathroom door, but he's already very familiar with Raphael's scent, just because they've interacted so much through the window that it hasn't really, he hasn't been looking like he's feeling, yeah, I won't lie. I'm kind of hoping that Raphael can teach Leo some manners. Raphael's got about 1.5 pounds on Leo, weight-wise. So Raphael's a little bit bigger. And in the beginning, I'm going to be monitoring their interactions very closely together and probably separating them, to start with. I'll have I'll monitor their interactions with each other, but separate them at like night and while I'm at work, and slowly transition them to spending more time around each other. Yeah, exactly. So they can technically reach each other a little bit under the door, just because I have such a large gap underneath my bathroom door. But I talked to the vet. I'm like, is that okay? Like, do I need to keep them like completely separated? Because my bathroom is one of those bathrooms where like the toilet and the bathtub, like the shower bath, are in their own little room with a door. So last night I kept Raphael just in that portion with the double door situation so that they couldn't touch at all. And today I was at the vet and I asked, can I keep that middle door, open, and they might be able to reach each other a little bit. But they're still separated. And they thought it would be fine. Just because, like, Raphael's got a clean bill of health. And, they've already been interacting a little bit through window screens and stuff. So they didn't really foresee any issues, with that, which was good because that gave me enough room to move his litter box further away from like the bathtub where I have like his most comfy situation going with the food and water and everything. So hopefully that'll help encourage him to use the litter box as well by having it not so close to his food. So, but yeah, that's the update. That's your kitty update. Is Raphael is home. He's all that. I realized afterwards, like, they didn't give him a chip. So at our follow-up, I might inquire about what it would be to get him a chip so that he's, if he ever got lost and stuff, he could get back to me. Since he doesn't have one. But, yeah, that's the kitty status update. I think he's a very handsome boy. He got lots of compliments at the vet office for how pretty he is. But like I said, poor thing was so scared. So he's just kind of like decompressing in his quarantine, and I'm giving him space. You need to register Zephyr's chip since she's been interested in the front door. Ooh, yes. Good plan, S. Good plan. All right, we're going to at least finish Act 2 today in Pentiment. At the very least. I think we were getting pretty close to being done. I don't know exactly how long. Depending on how long it takes to finish Act 2 will determine if we start Act 3 or not of this game. But we gotta name who the murderer is in this game. So let's get going. Okay. All right. It is June 25th, 1525. All right, we're here. Let's check out our... Ooh. Note left for Martin Bauer. Casper and I overheard Hannah Berggren speaking with Leonard Muller. She said she was glad someone killed Otto because an uprising would have threatened pilgrim visits to the shrine of St. Moritz, which would have been disastrous for the Golden Hand. Also, it's clear she's having an affair with the miller. Killian Berger gave me a note he found on the floor while cleaning. It's clearly from the thread pooler. It suggested that Otto was going to destroy the Abbey and the Hand of St. Moritz. I don't... Like, don't get me wrong. Brother Guy embezzling is bad, but technically doesn't directly implicate him. Like, in the fact that Otto knew about the embezzling is one thing, but, like, there's technically nothing pointing towards Brother Guy being at the scene of the crime. Versus, like, when we followed where the costume had been... Let's see... You know, when we followed where the costume had been disposed of, it led out... I mean, technically it could have led back to the crypt in the Abbey as well. So, I mean, I kind of feel like Hannah and Guy are my top suspects, but I'm leaning towards Hannah because she's the one who actually said that, you know, I'm glad he's dead. Like, you don't just say that about dead people, even if you didn't like them. You know, unless they're like Hitler level of bad, which Otto wasn't. Schlon! Hello, Schlon. I want to talk to Brother Guy. Maybe there's more to the embezzling thing than we know. You asshole. Oh my gosh. You told Gernot. I'm sorry, he had to know. You are a true bastard, Andreas Mahler. You deserve the very worst of what's coming to you. Wow, that is not a very Christian thing to say to someone, Brother Guy. I'd like to think, yeah, no, we have not been on reasonably. Maybe. Let's see, I'm gonna say nothing. Do not speak to me again. Jeez, and here I was gonna, like, give you the benefit of the doubt, but... Okay, well, Brother Guy, being... Let's see... Let's see... We could go hunting with the miller. That might provide some clues, though he's probably just going to further implicate Hannah. Andreas, welcome back to Tassing. Though perhaps it's not so welcome given you arrived just in time for another murder. Quite unfortunate timing for you. If I can find the real killer and prevent more bloodshed, maybe it's a good thing I was here. Just stall them. Either way, they'll see the error of their ways, or the Duke will send soldiers to Tassing. Yes, a show of force. That will clinch the peasants' bloodlust. If you say so, I do. In any case, if you get tired of investigating, my door is open. If you'd like to join my family for a meal or see the mountains, just let me know. See the mountains? Yes, for a brief hunt. Hunt. Yes, for deer. I might be able to help you get some perspective on the situation. With soldiers surrounding the town, are you sure that's safe? They're surrounding the peasants. The Duke knows I support the abbot. I always have. You and I aren't in danger, Andres. We want to hunt, we can hunt. I'm investigating Otto's murder. A hunt hardly seems appropriate. If it would help, I can tell you what I know. And I know a fair deal. What do you know? No, come hunting with me, and I'll tell you. All right, fine. Wonderful. You'll have to leave the boy behind, though. He'll slow us down. Casper, you can stay here with Paul until we return. All right, Master. All right, I guess we're going hunting. How is the climb suiting you, Mailer? It suits me just fine. I always love a good hike. I had a chance to do some hiking in the French Alps a few years ago. This isn't as spectacular as Mont Blanc, but it's lovely. Well, take a moment to appreciate the view. And let me know when you're ready to continue. I can see all of Tassing and Kirso from here. Probably have enough time for a quick sketch. Ooh, we get to sketch! Despite all of Tassing's troubles, it looks peaceful from up here. Why is this so hard? It's like my mind just wants my hand to stop. I can't even draw something as beautiful as this valley. Useless. What a waste of time. Look, you can see the Duke's soldiers getting information around the town. Peter has no idea what he's gotten the peasants into. Come nightfall, it will be too late. You seem rather happy about the whole situation. I am. It's about time the peasants were brought back in line, reminded of the order of things. All that space devoted to fields. It's a pity we need the peasants to work them. Why do you hate peasants so much? I'd say they're worthless, but they do necessary labor, I suppose. Even so, they're filthy brutes, idiots to the last, fit only to toil. It's hard to really think of them as people. How did you develop such contempt for them? My father taught me that if you try to help a peasant, they'll only drag you down into their muck. Like a dumb cow stuck in mud. Oh, bastard. It's best to leave them to their fate. Still, their women are of some value. Oh, gross. Come on, man. Don't misunderstand me. They're as stupid as the men, but they do have some charms. When they're young, of course, they age like buttermilk in the sun. Ha ha. What does it matter to you? You're a married man. Andreas, marriage is for raising children, keeping a household. There's nothing wrong with enjoying fruit from a tree in another man's yard from time to time. Given your contempt for them, I'm surprised any peasant women would lay with you. Their husbands are fumbling oafs, fat, ugly, and stupid. Some of them don't even know what the touch of a real man should feel like until I've been with them. As for the rest, they're easy to convince when there's a poor harvest year or when there's behind on their taxes. Disgusting. Yeah, no, he's completely gross. You're right, Zeppy. Yeah, he's... You're such a piece of shit. I'm gonna just say nothing right now because it's like, we want information. Well, that's enough talk for now. Are you ready to head up? Yes, let's continue. Deer come through this clearing at all times of year. There's a natural blind up ahead. We can watch from there. Got our crossbow. I have to admit, I didn't think much of you when you were last in Tassing. Poor artist and all that. What changed? You made something of yourself. Became a master in Nuremberg. In 7 years, you've gone from boarding in a run-down peasant's hovel to running your own successful workshop. Men like us make our own fortune. Didn't your father build the mill? The old mill. I built this one, the only windmill in Bavaria. With his fortune. You're missing the point. We've built something for ourselves. Peter Gertner will toil the same field his father did until he drops. Big Georg will do the same. Peasants ask for the world, but they can't even comprehend what's outside their tiny plot of land. I'm gonna say nothing. This rebellion by the farmers, it won't go anywhere. Whether it ends peacefully or violently, they won't win. If they need a scapegoat for Otto's death, look to Martin Bauer. Why would he want to kill Otto? Martin didn't want to support Otto's little rebellion. He was quite happy with the way things were. Something's changed recently. I think Otto learned something about Martin that Martin didn't want to get out. It was dire enough to change Martin from resisting Otto to wholeheartedly supporting him in front of the town. That's it. What evidence is there? Find some. If Otto found out, others must know of at least have suspicions. Shh, get down. He's there. See him? You lead, I'll follow. Man, it's hard to... You missed me by inches. I heard the ball fly past my head. Better than hearing it hit the back of your skull. I'll admit, I'm not the most accurate weapon, but it hit the target in the end. What a privilege, not getting my head blown off by my hunting partner. Oh, relax, Mailer, you're fine. Let's find the stag. It can't have gone far. Seems my shot was fatal. Sure. A good day out. Now then, let's find a long stick to carry the deer. It was a good hunt. Thank you for coming with me. Thank you for inviting me. We both have an interest seeing this situation, with the peasants resolved quickly. Think about what I said about Martin. So he's trying to cover for Hannah, I feel like, given that Hannah's his mistress. Fine, have it your way. Good luck, Andreas Mailer. Everyone will be waiting to hear my evidence now. I'd best head into town and be prepared to name a suspect. I think it was Hannah. What do you all think? Do you agree? We don't have much time, so let's get this over with. I know some of you are frightened, some of you want to give up, but we have to see this through. Maybe we can't get what we've been fighting for, but we can get justice for Otto. That's right, for Otto, justice! Dad, what about the Duke's soldiers? They've been getting closer all day. I know, that's why we have to do this before it's too late. All we need now is for Andreas to tell us who did it. No more stalling, Andreas. We need to know who killed Otto, and we need to know now. Can Andreas even tell us the truth? I'll tell you. Of course I can. Finding the culprit is all I've been doing since you chased those monks into the library. Peace, peace. If Andreas names the guilty party, they should face the law, not a mob. I'm not debating this, Ulrich. We're out of time. Acting now is the only way to get justice. We can't let anything stop us. A name, Andreas. Just give us a name. We'll do the rest. She made it, everyone. She made it. Rachel gave birth to a baby girl. Quiet, quiet. Everyone needs to stay back and give Rachel space. Yes, Agnes, of course. All is well, praise God. Safe and sound and a baby girl. Barak Hashem. With everything going on, with everything that could have happened, God be praised. Thanks to God indeed. Peter, I'm sorry. I can't keep supporting you anymore. I understand your cause, but I need to protect my daughter and keep my friends safe. I've already lost Marie and Bert. I can't bear to lose anyone else. If bowing to the Duke's wishes will protect us, I'll do it gladly. I believe in the cause, Peter, but not the cost of any more violence. Lives are at stake now. Please excuse me, everyone. I need a moment to myself. Maybe he's right. This is too much, right? What about our safety? How can you all so easily give up? That soldier said the Duke would consider concessions for the town if we released the abbot. Surely that will be enough. It may be enough to approach the Duke's soldiers, especially if you let the abbot go. Force will not solve anything. Letting the abbot go and getting concessions is the best solution for everyone, Peter. Letting the abbot go would be justice, wouldn't it? If he's not the one who killed Otto. You townsfolk don't understand. Letting the abbot go won't fix anything. If we can't get the concessions we need, all the peasants will starve and die in the end, and then where will Tassing be? Besides, Otto's death needs to be vindicated. Don't walk away from this now, Ulrich. I have not swayed from the cause, Peter, rest assured. But Ulrich, this isn't your fight. Gret, it is moral and Christian to stand with the peasants. I cannot do otherwise. Damn you all. Such behavior is reckless and cruel, especially right now. Get out, all of you. Let Rachel rest. Yes, Agnes, we'll go now. Andreas, we're not done. We must find justice for Otto before the Duke's soldiers arrive. Yes, let's leave Rachel and the baby be, at least. Here we go. No more stalling, no more interruptions. Tell us what you know, Andreas. Give us a name. Give us a name, or the monks can burn along with their precious books. Remember your promise. You will let them go. You won't hurt them. See, mobbing the culprit won't give you any concessions. Let's just give the murderer to the Duke's men instead. The Duke's men have forced us to act. We can worry about the abbot and the soldiers after we've dealt with the killer. Tell us. I have one more condition. Damn it, Mailer, we don't have time for this. Let Casper leave. He doesn't have to be wrapped up in this mess. What? Leave? Yes, fine, the boy can leave. It's not his fight. Please, Casper. I couldn't live with myself if something happened to you. Oh, geez. It looks like this is not going to successfully convince him. No, no, Master Andreas, I won't leave you. I know you don't want to, but you have to. Find your way back to Salzburg, back to your family. Please. Master Andreas, you'll teach me again when this is all over, right? Of course, Casper. I'll be right behind you. All right. I'll see you soon, Master. Who killed Otto? Casper and I overheard Hannah Bergen speaking with Leonard Miller. She said she was glad someone killed Otto because an uprising would blah, blah, blah. We only really have evidence for Hannah or Guy. I feel like... Excuse me. I'm going with Hannah. Hannah Bregan killed Otto to protect the inn. To protect the inn? Why would the inn be in danger? I overheard Hannah confiding in Leonard by the old ruins in the meadow. She was afraid that if Otto pushed the abbot out, the hand of St. Moritz would go with him. No relic, no pilgrims, no golden hand. We should have known. She's a newcomer here, never supported the peasants, never supported what Otto was doing. And if she was sneaking off to the ruins to talk with that bastard Leonard, well, I don't think anything more needs to be said. All right, Peter, we've heard Andreas out, but the accused should be allowed to defend themselves. You're not going anywhere, Peter. You're not getting anyone. None of you are. Hannah is under my protection, and you're out of time. Peter, I'm so delighted I was able to snuff out the flickering flame of your pathetic rebellion. Listen to me, all of you. It's over. You're done. The only thing you can do now is release the abbot and pray for the Duke's mercy. If any of you people set foot near my mill, you'll get none from me. Damn him! Damn him! He thinks he can stop us? All of us? He can't! Peter, this has gone too far. We have to release the abbot before it's too late. To hell with the abbot, Ulrich, and if you won't help us, to hell with you. Peter, listen to Ulrich. He's right. No, he's not. There must be a peaceful way to do this. Peace is a luxury of rich men, Andreas. I can't afford it. To the mill! Oh, dear. Stay back, brutes. This won't end well for any of you. Hannah has my protection, and I won't hesitate to shoot you like the animals you are. Stay away from my fucking mill. And you, Andreas, I thought you might have learned something from our little chat. Seems like you really are as pathetic as the rest of this lot. Just give us the murderer, Leonard. Don't make things worse. F you, Andreas. I thought you had a backbone, but you're spineless bastard. Elsie, take the boy and go. You don't need to be involved in this. No! Elsie, get back inside. Don't you dare disobey me, Paul. You hear me? Get your mother back inside. I'm not staying here any longer. I'm taking Mom and we're leaving somewhere far away from you. You'll regret this, boy. I won't be responsible for how your life turns out if you leave. Leonard, let them go. They've lived under your rule long enough. I should have expected this from you, Paul. You've always been a sad excuse for a son. And Elsie, if you do this, you won't find anyone else to love you. Oh, man, toxic. You'll be an F-less old crone like that Otelia, Elsie. It's over, Leonard. They're gone. You're not so high and mighty now, are you? You're gonna lose everything, just like us. Give up, Miller. There's more of us than you at that mill, and you can't shoot us all. Give us Hannah, you bastard. I didn't kill Otto. I was scared about what would happen to the shrine, but I never killed someone. Please think of my family. And what about Otto's family? What about my daughter, a widow, with an infant son? It's too late to plead for mercy now. You're all mad. This isn't how the law works, and you know it. Your blubbering will change nothing. You've never given a damn about the law, or justice, or propriety, or effing decency for a day in your life, Leonard. You've let me have my way for years, Peter, and done shit about it. You've never stood up for anything. You won't get any further today, coward. Peter, Leonard, please, let us search for peace tonight. Such language is not Christian. Coward, am I? Come down here and face me like a man, you piece of shit. Please, everyone, calm down. We can still talk this out. Violence is not the answer, Peter. You can't blame the man, Ulrich. Force is all Peter and his family knows. It certainly worked with Christine. How dare you even speak her name, much less suggest. Ulrich! Leonard, you killed him! Murder! You monster! Burn him! Make him pay! Justice! You've been a menace on this town long enough, Leonard, but murder? You've brought this on yourself. Let both the murderers die together. Oh boy. Andreas, troops are advancing on the town. We need to go now. We must let the abbot out so that he can talk to the Duke's soldiers. You're right. Let's go. Poor Ulrich. Didn't deserve to die. Father Abbot, you can come out. The peasants won't hurt you now. Really? Why? Andreas found the killer and justice has been dispensed. Peter has to keep to his word. Are you sure? Please, Father Abbot, the Duke's soldiers have surrounded the town. We have to show them you're in no danger, that the peasants aren't holding you captive. We don't want any more bloodshed, Father. Oh, thank God. It's over, finally. What happened at the mill? Is anyone hurt? We saw a fire. Peter, stop. You got your justice. You swore that you wouldn't harm the abbot or the brothers, remember? I did. No one else needs to die tonight. The abbot can talk to the Duke's herald. You held Leonard responsible for his actions. We can convince the Duke that's what happened tonight was justice. Otto is dead. Ulrich is dead. We can work through this, Peter. Hope is not lost. Everything can go back to the way it was before. Right, the way it was before. Like nothing ever happened. Peter! Uh-oh. He set fire. What is it? What did you do? Dad? God save us, he's lit the manuscripts. Nothing's ever going to change. The books! Dad, what did you do? We need to get to the water in the sister's well, quickly, before it spreads. Peter, the soldiers are in the abbey. They're coming this way. We need to save his... Oh, jeez. Andreas, let's go! I'm sorry, I can't. Andreas! Oh, Casper. Well, I guess I shouldn't have chosen book lover trait. Because that was dumb. To all interested parties regarding investments made to Andreas Mahler, artist of Nuremberg, for the creation of a mural in the Church of Our Lady. The Chamber Court upholds the rulings of the Nuremberg City Court and Council in 1526 and 1527, respectively. All claimants signed contracts containing clauses under which their investments could be returned. As Andreas Mahler's death indisputably resulted from a greater power, a contractually exempted circumstance, his estate cannot be held liable. In the interest of feminine liberty, his widow, Sabine, retains all contested investments. Well, at least to be in the 15th day of February, Anno Domini 1534. That was the end. Magdalene! Feels like it's getting cold early this year, doesn't it? At my age, it feels like the cold comes earlier every year. But we need this chill for the leaves to fall and the gulls with them. What, you don't want to climb the saint's tree to pull them off? Ha! Even in my youth, that would have required divine intervention. No, thank you. I'll stay here on the ground and wait patiently for the Lord to deliver. Don't you have ink back at your father's shop, though? For the press, he has it delivered. This is just for my own drawings. Besides, sometimes it feels nice to do things the old way. An old way it is, I would know. Hey, Mag's sister Gertrude. Oh, it's Otts. God bless you, Master Zimmerman. I told you not to call me that. What, Mags? Why, people call me Otts. You don't see me complaining. Not even a name, it's a valley. You like being called Otts. Right, so why are you being so stuck up? Master Zimmerman, would you call Mary Magdalene, witness to our Lord's death and resurrection, Mags? I guess not. Then it seems only fitting you should call Mistress Truckern by her full Christian name. All right, sorry, sister. Sorry, Magdalene. Anyway, your dad wants to see you. What? Why? Isn't he at Rathos? He is. He wants you to grab his mural sketches and bring them. Fine. I suppose this is enough gals for now. I was just about finished too. Bless you both. Don't be long, Magdalene. The council's waiting on this. Not sure why this falls on me, but I suppose I'd better get going. I think Dad left the Rathos plans on his workshop bench at home, next to the printing press. October 1543. But now we're playing as Magdalene, since Andreas has died. I wonder if Andreas always dies at the end of Act 2. Or if it's just because he had the book lover trait this time, that he couldn't bear to leave. Might have to Google that later. Oh my gosh! A child named after Andreas? Really? Wait, we gotta pet the doggy. Hello. You can call me Magdalene, Andreas. Magdalene. Magda works too. Magda. There you go. What are you up to today? Drawing? Anything interesting? No, secrets. Oh, I see. I'll leave you to it then. Did Paul have a son and name him after Andreas because he encouraged his art? Oh, stop. That's so sweet. The Rathos mural sketches. I think this is what my dad wants. I think these are all the plans. What is Is this part of the plans? Stop. Huh? This isn't Dad's handwriting. I actually kind of... What an odd color. We don't have ink like this here. At least, I don't think we do. Whatever, I'll bring it just in case. I'd better get these over to Rathos. Let's see. Map. Where am I going? Okay. Hey again, Megs. Are you serious? I just told you not to call me that. And what are you all doing out here? Don't you have better things to do? What business is that of yours? Not me. All my work's done, Megs. What do you care? It's not like you've got important work to do. Rude. All right, background for Magdalene. Tinker. Maintains and tinkers with the press and type and sometimes works with Baltus. Or bookkeeping. I don't want to make it domestics. Bookkeeping or tinker? I like the idea of her being a tinker. So we're going to go with that. I keep the press running for my dad, and I work with Baltus on his inventions. That seems a little more important than standing around the commons in the middle of the day. Baltus's inventions are stupid. Doesn't seem like something a girl should be involved with, if you ask me. Right. No one did. Calm down, Mags. You're gonna get a reputation. Too late to worry about that. She already has a reputation. Let's see. Yeah, no, I'm not thinking. Negotiator. No, I don't like flirt or snoop. I'm going to go with haggle. Strong negotiator, whether it comes to finances or other matters of trade. You said that before, and it doesn't make any sense. I bargain like a man? What does that even mean? Well, what it sounds like. You're still mad at me because I convinced Gret to give me her last pretzel on Friday. Let it go. Easy for you to say when you got the pretzel. All right, we got it. Lay off. Did you get those things your dad wanted? Yes, that's why I was on my way to Rathos. Hopefully I can drop these off and start my reading for the day. Reading? What book is so important that you need to get back to it? Ooh. Polyglot. Let's see. Melusine, Esther sent it to me from Prague. Is that about the snake woman who takes off all her clothes? Sort of, but no, not really, or at all. Does it have any pictures? Right, I want to see. Calm down, I'm not showing you lecherous dogs anything. I thought you read all kinds of old books. Well, I think it's worth preserving any of the manuscripts we come across. It's a shame what happened to the library at Curso. We lost centuries in one night. If we can keep some of the past alive, we should. Sounds like a lot of work. Right, no thanks, haha. Wait, Otz, aren't you supposed to be at Rathos too? You're on the council. Sure, but it's pointless without your dad's plans. Let's go. Ugh, fine. I don't understand how we are still arguing about this. These murals should depict the truth. What we know is the truth. I don't think it's so simple, Claus. Are you afraid of angering our Lord Father, Thomas? I think Father Thomas means that the truth is not so easily agreed upon. I don't know, I'm tired of arguing. I just want it to look nice and show what happened. Magdalene, thank you for bringing these. Maybe illustrations will succeed where talking has failed. I'm done arguing with them. I'll see you at home for supper. It's all right, Magdalene. We don't need to see the drawings. It's not that we don't understand what he's trying to do. I didn't realize we'd upset him so much. Sounds like things got worse after I left. Well, we've been arguing about this for almost 2 hours. For all the good it did us, he hasn't budged. What's the point of talking if you can't make any progress? Magdalene, could you speak to your father, help him see things from our point of view? Father Thomas, I don't even know what you're all arguing about. What is your point of view? Claus has strong, very strong opinions on how the history of Tassing of Curso Abbey should be portrayed. And those portrayals may upset some of our neighbors. Isn't the real concern that it's going to upset the Lord? Isn't everyone really worried about him coming here someday and seeing the revolt memorialized on the wall? Mags, welcome in, love. Thanks for collecting your daily blanket. How are you doing? You keep saying that we all disagree with him. I don't think I do. Not entirely. What do you think, York? I know I'm not the smartest man in this room, but I know what happened to my own dad. I know what he did. It doesn't feel right to ignore what happened to him, what happened to Otto. Look, you all knew my dad. I never had the chance. I don't want to make the people in this town angry. I don't want to make our Lord angry. None of us do, but maybe there's a way to tell this story in a way that's true without upsetting anyone. It's all very complicated, you see, Magdalene? Try to get him to consider the portrayal of history that's a little bit less inflammatory. I don't think it's as complicated as you all think. We need to come to an agreement or call off the mural entirely. He's been wanting to paint this mural for years. You can't tell him no all of a sudden. Then help us, Magdalene. Your father will listen to you. Fine, but only so he can paint it, not on account of your bickering like children. Now, I'm going back home. This mess has taken up too much of my day already. Magdalene. Thank you for bringing the drawings to Rathos. I'm sorry it was a waste of time. Those men don't know what they want. When I tell them what I'm trying to do, they get scared. Then they talk and talk and talk all day, and we're never any closer to a decision. I'm sick of it. Sick of the whole thing. I'm worried about you. I know. I appreciate the concern. I suppose I haven't been this upset about something in a while. I'll get through it. I just need time. Why is it bothering you so much? We hear all these stories about what this place was, how it came to be. And it feels like history is something that happened before, happened to other people. But 18 years ago, we lived through something you and I, everyone in Tassing. Everyone wants to forget about it, pretend it didn't happen. You don't. No, I don't. All those years ago, I did nothing. I was worried for you, worried for Benjamin and Rachel and Esther. I was so afraid that I'd lose you. I wouldn't have been able to bear it. In the end, so many people died anyway. Peter and Ulrich and Andreas and all the others. And we lived. Dad, everyone says that it wouldn't have made any difference. If you and the others had fought, you would have died. I would have died. Maybe I could have stopped him from going to the mill. Or maybe we could have stopped the peasants from burning it down. But we'll never know. Is that what this is about? This mural? It's a chance to put something down in a place where everyone can see. If people start to forget, this will remind them. We were here. This happened. If I don't do it, who will? You're right, Dad. I wish the men in the Rathos saw me the way you do. They'll come around. I hope so. All right, arguing has left me beat. I'm going to bed early. All right, I'm going to stay up for a bit and write a letter to Esther. Good. Please say hello to her from me. And her parents. I know, Dad. Good night, Magdalene. I love you. I love you too. All this running around has left me tired too. It'll be nice to sit down at my desk and write for a while. All right, where to begin? Should write to Esther. Dearest Esther, I hope you've been well. Let's see. I hope you and your family are well. Dad sends his regards to your parents. Like usual. I've spent the last few days collecting oak galls with Sister Gertrude. I don't suppose you have a chance to do that in Prague. Sister Gertrude has been teaching me how to grind them into smooth ink. It's difficult work. Let's see. Oh, hi! Welcome in. Yeah, let me double check what languages it's available in. I'm pretty sure it's available in multiple. And thank you for... Thank you. All right. Thank you for the follow. And yeah, this game, Pentiment, is available in English, French, Italian, German, Spanish, and actually like Polish, Portuguese, Japanese, Korean, Russian, and simplified Chinese. There are 11 supported languages for interface and subtitles for this game. So you have options. Like I'm not sure if any of those are ones that are your base language. Oh yeah, that was the extra sound was caused by my my Steam client. I opened up the store page and it started automatically playing the trailer for this game. But I got it to stop. But yeah, so there's 11 supported languages for this game. You're thinking about getting it for yourself, but you'd be more comfortable with German. Trying to decide between this game and The Wolf Among Us. Gotcha. Well, German is a supported language for this game. So yeah, for both interface and subtitles. All right. Difficult work, but you'll find no better ink anywhere in Bavaria. I'll send along a bottle with this letter. Yeah, absolutely. This is, let's see, we're in our third, we just entered the third act of this game. Now this is one of those games where it's like every act after Act 1 can be very different depending on the choices in the previous acts. Let's see. Be sure to store it out of sunlight or else the color will change. Did I mention? Dad started a new project. He's painting a mural of Tassing's history in our new Rathaus to memorialize the revolt. The whole thing has me thinking about my own family history. Past, present, and future. Are we looking forward to taking over the print shop, or do we want to leave Tassing? I mean, as someone who also grew up in a very small town, I lean towards the not wanting to stay in Tassing, but I also didn't have like a deep family history where I grew up. Let's see. I don't think I want to stay in Tassing forever. It's a quaint place to grow up, but I'm 20 now. Dad says I should take over the shop, but I want to do more with my life. Not just take over a print shop in some tiny town in the Alps. If I married a master printer, then I could become part of the Printers Guild. Then I'd be able to send Dad my extra earnings and make a name for myself in one of the cities. And yes, before you break the nib off your pen, I will come visit you in Prague, I promise. I'll try to make time to visit before winter. Life has been bustling here. Dad's been busy with the Rathaus mural, so I've taken over in the workshop. I'm sure it'll be a sight to behold once it's finished. Write back to me soon. All my love, Magda. Late. I should get some rest soon. Middle of the night. Ag! Dad? Dad? Spoon, welcome in, love. Oh, it's a place where the mayor of the city is and all administration workers. Thank you for the info. And Spoon, welcome in, love. Thanks for collecting your daily blanket. Magdalene. Dad! Hang on, I'm coming. Ooh, Spoon. Yes. I brought Cat to vet. Cat turned out to be a boy, not a girl, but it took the vet even several minutes to determine that, and a light to be able to define whether Cat was boy or girl. Did not have a chip, clean bill of health, and I've brought him home and named him Raphael. So Raphael's in quarantined from my other cat, Leonardo, at the moment. Which is good because he was very shook up by the vet appointment. And so this is good for him to like decompress. So we're working on acclimatizing him and he was already neutered, seemingly by one of those trap and release programs that a lot of locales have. But so he was already neutered. He's got a clean bill of health. We got him vaccinated, and he's quarantined in my bathroom right now while I get him used to being inside and litter box trained. Once he's reliably using the litter box, I'll move him to my bedroom. I want to make sure he's litter box trained first because my bedroom has carpet. So we'll get him litter box trained and then he'll move into the bedroom to be quarantined. He's supposed to be quarantined for 2 weeks before I start having him interact with Leo. So yes, I officially have a second cat now. Because Stray has become a part of the family. So, yeah. I'm excited. He's very, very sweet, very timid. And I'm hoping that Leo is so bold, you know? But Raphael has got like 1.5 pounds on Leo for weight. So I feel like their personalities will balance. The only concern is like Leo might try to bully Raphael, but I kind of feel like maybe Raphael will teach Leo some manners. Yeah. They estimated Raphael to be about 3 years old, which puts him about a year older than Leo. So they're fairly close in age. So yeah, he's a gray tabby with a white chest. Like if you look up like standard issue cat on the internet, that's basically what he looks like. I did put a picture in my Discord channel. If you're in my Discord, are you in my Discord, Spoon? I don't remember. But I did put some pictures in the pet channel in my Discord. If anyone wants to be added to the Discord, let me know. I don't have open invitation. Yes. Okay, you are. Cool. You can go to the pets channel and see some pictures of Raphael if you would like. But yeah, poor Raphael was so very timid. Poor thing was shaking through the entire vet appointment. So I think he's going to adapt pretty well to being an indoor cat. Being as timid as he is, I think he'll take comfort in the safety and security of being inside. But yeah, I think they should balance. I'm looking forward to the idea that Leo will have a friend when I'm at work. But we're going to be working on slow introduction. Thankfully, they've already started like slow introduction, given that they've been able to like interact with each other through the window before I was able to bring Raphael inside. So, all right, Magdalene. What happened? Are you all right? You're bleeding. Someone came into the house. They hit me over the head. I'll go get Dr. Stoles. Try not to move, Dad. Magdalene, it's not safe. Whoever attacked me. This wound is too deep for me to take care of on my own. We need Dr. Stoles. Magdalene, be careful. I will. I'll be right back. I promise. You looked at, isn't he adorable? He was getting lots of compliment at the vet. Do you know why anyone would want to attack you, Claus? No, maybe someone didn't like one of the books I sold them. Are you sure you didn't see Shadow and hit your head on the printing press? Come on, York, you saw the workshop. Somebody was looking for something. A burglar? In Tassing? That's preposterous. Well, if it wasn't an attack, what was it? Enough. It was a deliberate blow to the head, unless any of you wish to debate my diagnosis. No, of course not, no. As I thought. Truthfully, Claus, I'm surprised the blow didn't kill you. You have a strong skull. It's a grave injury. Magdalene, you'll need to help take care of your father. I will. Whatever I need to do. Good. Of course, the mural will have to be called off now. Claus, you absolutely cannot get out of bed. No, it has to be done. This is too important. Just give me some time to rest. I'll find a way to make it work. I don't think we need to cancel the entire project. Can't we just wait? Claus, your health comes first. Anyhow, we haven't even been able to agree on what the mural should be. Indeed, it might be best to abandon the entire idea. I don't agree with that, Thomas. With respect, Father Thomas, you're not on this council. Yes, just offering an opinion. I can paint the mural. What? Mags, quit joking around. Well, I know you want to help your dad, but aren't you too young for something like this big? I love this. Let's skip this debate. We all know that I'm capable of doing this myself. Dad knows I'm capable. Let's see. I like that. Just tell him how it is, Queen. If you don't trust Magdalene to do the mural, to hell with the lot of you. We love a supportive dad. Oh my gosh. If you don't trust her, you don't trust me, I'll never do any work for this council again. All right, I say we let her. It doesn't look like we have much of a choice. Very well. All right, Magdalene, you can do it. But you still need to talk to us about what you're doing, all right? Fine, but I'm taking Dad's ideas into account. Well, we'll figure it out. Thanks, Magdalene. Rest up, Claus. I'll do my best, Jorg. Magdalene, just a moment. Yes, what is it? Your father is lucid right now, but his injury is severe. His current demeanor is misleading. I know the injury is severe, Werner. I saw all the blood. There is damage to his brain. He may have a few weeks, maybe even a few months left, but he's not going to survive. Can't we take him to see a surgeon? No, he can't be moved in this condition. In fact, he shouldn't move at all. Even if he could, I don't think the finest Italian surgeons would know how to deal with trauma like this. So, he's just going to die? There's nothing I can do about it? You can make him comfortable, and you can enjoy the time you have left. But time will run out before long. Oh, sad. Dad needs to be able to see the mural in its finished form. But I don't know how much time he has left. Werner said it could be a few months or... God protect him. I'll pick up where Dad left off. He wanted to paint the history of Tassing from its earliest days to revolt. I'll start with the earliest part of Tassing's history, the pagan tribes and the Romans. Then I'll move on to the founding of the Abbey and Tassing's saints. After that, I should find a way to represent our recent history. Depicting the revolt is important to Dad. People in Tassing might know some of the town's history, but not all of it. Dad said the library in Curso had those records. He was going to write to the last prioress to see if she had any information. I should write to her now while I'm thinking about it. Where to begin? Dad told me the last prioress at Curso knew something about the whole old history at Tassing. He said she became the abbess of a convent in Bologna, Mother Illuminata. Yes, at Saint Santa Margherita. I should write her. Let's see. Mother Illuminata, abbess of Santa Margherita, formerly prioress of Curso Abbey. My name is Magdalene Druckern. I do not believe we ever met, as I was very young when you left Curso. You were acquainted with my father. He bought many books from the library before that terrible fire consumed the place. I'm writing because my father and I are creating a mural in the Tasing Ratos. It's going to tell the history of our community and of Kirso as well. We have only legends and folklore since, of course, all of Kirso's books were destroyed in the fire. I was hoping you could tell us something about the early history of the town when the Romans were here. If you know anything about the early history of the abbey itself, we would also be glad to hear of it. We would appreciate any help you could give us and hope you are well. My father always spoke highly of you, especially how you cared for the sisters after the fire. God bless you, Magdalene. If I want to finish the mural before Christmas, I should start planning tomorrow. I should head to bed and get as much rest as I can. It's late. I should get some rest soon. All right. By the way, is it for Uki? How would you like to be called? Let me know in the chat if you would like. I would like to make sure I'm calling you how you would like to be called. Ah, Mistress Druckern. I have a few letters here addressed to you. Take care now. Thank you, sir. Mother Illuminata wrote back to me. I hope her response helps me paint the mural. Mistress Druckern, thank you for your letter. I hope this reply finds you and your father in good health. I remember you both as your father would carry you between the rows of our library in its final years. I also remember your late mother and brother. God keep their souls. While we did have some books that discussed Tassing's past, it's likely they were as mythological as what your neighbors believe. That said, I remember one of the peasants, Hillman Kreutzer, read about the history of the town. I know he died during the revolt, but perhaps his family knows some of what he learned. I should also say that it's not true that all of Curso's books were destroyed by the fire. Andreas Mailer managed to save some from the flames. God rest his soul. In the aftermath of that terrible night, cataloging and preserving the surviving books was not at the top of any of our minds. Even so, this topic has stirred a memory within me. Several years before the fire, there was a death at Curso, the murder of Baron Rothvogel. He had mentioned something about finding a copy of Historia Tasse, a comprehensive chronicle of your home. I'd forgotten about it until now because the murder dominated all our thoughts in the days and weeks that followed. It troubles me now because I recall that the late Father Matthias was also reading a copy of Historia Tasse shortly before he died. We never accounted for either book's whereabouts. They may have been hidden somewhere in the library and went up with everything else. Perhaps Prior Ferenc took it from the Baron after the murder. Ferenc had an interest in books of all sorts, of course, but it seems like an odd thing to do in the moment. Then again, only God knows what he did and why he did it. Michaelos Haberle, the Baron's manservant, believed it may have been stolen by the town thief Martin Bauer. If Martin is still alive, I would ask him if he knows where the book is. Hopefully he didn't trade it for a mug of beer on his way out of Tassing. If the man has passed from this world, perhaps his family knows where the book wound up. As for the history of the abbey, I fear that was also lost in the blaze. However, as sacristan, Prior Matthew learned a great deal about the subject. I have not kept in contact with him, but I know he is now the Archdeacon of Sion. He is no longer a Benedictine, but uses his family name, Possigny so. If you write to him soon, your letter may reach him before snow covers Valais. Please convey your best wishes to your father. He was a good friend to the Abbey in its better years. Despite the violence that occurred, I hold no ill will toward anyone in Tassing. I pray that you have seen better days since that night, and that God forgives the many errors we made. God bless you as well. Mother Illuminata, Abbess of Santa Margherita. Esther wrote to me as well. My dear Magda, my parents were glad to hear from your father. Please tell him they wish to hear from him soon. Speaking of printing, your ink was well received indeed. I've made several prints with it. They look lovely on the wall. Elisha has taken to making his own ink from scraps he found around the house after he saw yours. Mother was furious when he spent several pfennigs trying to find lapis at the market. She set him scrubbing the floors for it. Took him 3 days. I'm glad you're keeping busy, even though it keeps you from visiting. Father says we'll have room whenever you decide to make an appearance. Though really, if you don't plan to stay in Tassing, you ought to come sooner rather than later. There are plenty of beautiful young Christian men around town, printers and academics alike. Go Esther, being ready to be like, girl, I can match-make you to the best. Or maybe something else. You'd have your pick. Prague is a good city for me as well. Before the expulsion, there was a handsome man at synagogue, Semond, who caught my eye. His father is a merchant, and he's a doctor. He went to the University of Padua. Can you believe it? I'd like to marry him, if I can find him again. Anyway, I think you'd have even better luck than me. The boys would swoon at a beautiful blonde artist from the Alps. Please keep us abreast of your father's mural. We'll have to come see when it is finished. Blessings. Esther. I'll have to write Esther back tonight. I should head home and check on Dad. Hey, Dad, how are you feeling? Magdalene. Sitting upright is still a struggle, I'm afraid. The dizziness makes my stomach turn, so I'd rather not eat at the moment. Are you sure? I can bring up something light, like milk or broth. No, I can't stomach anything just yet. But tell me, where are you off to? I need to get started on the first part of the mural today, the old history. Mother Illuminata didn't know much about Tassing's early history, but she gave me a few places to start. I'm going to ask Blacktill if his grandfather told him any stories. Illuminata said he used to read about the Romans. Mother Illuminata. Magdalene. Right, yes. Mother Illuminata. Young Kreutzer has mentioned those tales from time to time, yes? He comes by to borrow books now and then. Usually when he's found some interesting old ruin out in the fields. You might ask him about that. A pity that ill Peter passed. He knew a great deal about Tassing's earliest history. Ah, well, can't be helped, I suppose. All things are lost to time in the end. That's why the mural is so important. Our history will live on a little longer. Yes, you're right, of course. I'm glad you're carrying it on, Magdalene. You might talk to Smokey, too. The old charcoal burner seems to know more about what's in the woods around town than anyone else. That, and he's a known gossip. He's always been kind to me. When I chat with him, I'm certain he'll know something. You may hear something worth your while, at any rate. I'll go talk to him. What about the ruins or the mines? I can't just use books and stories alone. I want to explore whatever is left over from the Romans and before. The salt mine and Roman ruins are the oldest parts of Tassing, so it only makes sense to see what they left behind. You take after your mother. She was always thorough in her research. You always said that's what good artists do, Dad. Be careful, all right? I know the twins mess around near the salt mine, but I don't want you getting hurt. I don't know why Jorg doesn't keep them in line, always making trouble, those two. That's what happens when you name your kids after pagan gods instead of saints, I guess. Don't start that, Magdalene, or I might expect you to join the poor Clare's... What are those? Order of contemplative nuns found by St. Clare and Francis of Assisi. Poor Clares are devoted to extreme poverty. They subsist purely on the donation of alms. Don't forget your other chores while you're running around town, all right? We still have a household to run. Don't worry. I'll get everything done. That's my girl. I'd better get going if I want to do all that today. I'll see you later, Dad. Good luck, Magdalene. All right. We got a lot to cover. We got a lot of ground to cover. All right. Martin Bauer possibly might have one. And then Smokey and Blacktail might know something. Let's start with that. Hmm. Hmm. 3 objectives on the map. I suppose we'll start with the one that's closest. God bless you, Magdalene. God bless you, Till. Do you have a moment? Of course. What do you need? Ott says you've been obsessed with your painting. I'm looking into the early history of Tassing for the first part of the mural. Mother Illuminata said your grandfather read about the history of town. Ah, fertile fields, that is. Seems like old pot shards and Latin trivia were all he ever talked about. All of Granddad's readings came from the Abbey's library, though, and you know what happened there. Poof, up in smoke. So you don't have any of his old books? Only a few. Granddad tried to buy some when the Abbey fell on hard times, but they were too expensive. I can show you something better than books. Anything would help. Right, so we don't have any books on the old pagans, but we do have their stuff. Shards of ceramic pots and animals, bricks from what looked like to be an old forge, mountains of salt. Even found a little bear carved from amber. Where did you find all this stuff? It's not just me. Carl finds things, Fabian too. Any farmer would tell you the same. It's all out there in the fields, under the dirt. Can't go one season without turning up something. Where are you keeping these things? Nowhere. We just toss them into piles with the rest of the rocks and root clumps. Sure, it's interesting, but we can't do much of anything with stuff except look at it. What do you think it all means? I don't follow. How do you think these people lived? Rough, I'd say, but comfortable. We don't find much of their clothes or their houses, so they must have rotted. I guess that would mean they were living in huts. But their tools are good quality. If they weren't rusted all to hell, I could probably use them today. I don't know why, but I assumed they'd live in caves or in the muck. They weren't Christians, no doubt about that, but they weren't animals either. I'd say they had it hard, but they got by. Not so different from today, really. Earlier you mentioned something about salt. Did the pagans start the mine? Had to have, I'd say. Most people think it was a Roman project, but I think the Romans just dug out what was already there. That's why Tassing was so important to the Romans in the first place. Salt. I always wondered why they'd settled in such a small alpine town. Do you think there's anything left of the pagans down there? I don't know, but anything they left would have had to have been better preserved than what we dig out of the fields. Magdalene, tell me you aren't thinking of going down there. What if there's stuff that could help me with the mural? Magdalene, that mine is hundreds of years old. You could break your neck just getting in there. It's worth it for the mural. I want to try my best for Dad. Imagine how your dad would feel if you got hurt. Ah. Dedicated to the mural's success, wanted Dad to be proud of the mural, haggle background. Curious about the daily lives. Help me get down safely, and he won't have to worry. Success! You're bullheaded, just like your mother. And your father. Probably couldn't keep you out of there if I tried. Please, Till. All right. Don't know how to get down there myself, but I know those twins have gotten in a time or two. No doubt they have a trick. And Boltus might not be the most reliable man, but I don't doubt he could rig something up for you too. Thank you, Till. Let's see. I promise I'll be careful. I'm holding you to that, young lady. This has been a big help. Glad to spread some knowledge around. Important for folks to know their past. You think all this pagan stuff will make it in the mural? I can bring some of the things the boys and I have found over to the Rothos tomorrow if that help at all. That would be great. I'm glad you're taking an interest, Magdalene. I thought no one cared about the pagans but me and Granddad. I should warn you, if you do head into the forest, keep an eye out for the Lord's men. They're strict, worse now than they used to be. I'll be careful. Until tomorrow. Until then. Pretty sure I can ask Baltus instead. If we go up, we can go to Baltazar. All right. Ciao, Magdalene. Baltazar. Balta's workshop. I wonder if we can do another lesson soon. Magdalene. Yes? The cinnamon just arrived for the beer. Cinnamon? Doesn't that come from Ceylon? Ugh, yes, at great cost. Oh, never mind that. The copper pots you helped me pipe are part of the process. Huh. It's for Christmas celebration. Already? We're barely into November. The wheel of time stops for no man. But it's going to be wonderful. Cinnamon, coffee from Ethiopia, cacao from the New World. Jesus Christ, he who has the money can do everything. Problem? Of course not, it's your money. Anyway, I'm quite excited about it. Clearly. As such, alchemy is not normally my strong suit. And for all of Nazio's complaints about the cost, the base rye we're using is free. Really? Yes. The farmers had so much rye this year they couldn't use it all. Gret made as much bread with it as she could, but wound up having to throw a lot out. So why not make beer? I wish you the best of luck with it. Thank you. Do you know Tassing's salt mine? I need to find a way in. Any chance you could help me? To get into the salt mine, yes? You must be on quite an adventure. Ideally, we could rig up a double pulley system to lower and raise yourself in the shaft. But that might take a while. Well, I would like to go in today, if possible. Of course, of course. Would a good length of rope suffice? You should brace against the wall of the mine shaft. Are you strong enough to support your own weight? Against the wall? I think so. Excellent. Thank you, Baltus. Of course, of course. Here you go. Do be careful, though. Make sure the ropes are secure. I will. Until later. Good luck, Magdalene. We now have rope. Alright. We still gotta go to the charcoal burner. We can do that on our way to the salt mine. Talk to Smokey here. Good day, Mistress Druckern. I've told you, Smokey. Call me Magdalene. Old habits, I suppose. What brings you to my corner of the woods? More gossip? Only ancient gossip. I was wondering if you knew anything about the old pagan and Roman mines. Mines? Is this a new interest of yours, Magdalene? I don't see the townsfolk trek out there as much anymore. Last I saw were those two twins making trouble. They know a way in, but I'll be damned if I ever set foot close to that place. What are you so interested in over there? The mural in the Rothos needs a section about the earliest days of Tassing. The mines are the oldest part of Tassing, and you keep a keen ear. I thought you might have heard something. I don't know about getting down into the mines, but I know a fair few stories about them, and the other Roman ruins around here. The old stories my father used to tell me when he was the burner of Tassing. The one about Mars and Tassia, the nymph, was always my favorite, though I blame that on my youth. Tassia? Like Tassing. Folk named the town after a pagan god, a Roman one at that. I don't mind telling you the tale, Magdalene, but I warn you, it's a bit bawdy. Well, I need something about the Romans to... paint on the mural. I'll tell the decent bits of what I remember, but I won't have your father hounding me for any coarseness. Alright, what's the story? Well, legend says that Mars was hunting in these woods and spied a fat boar for the taking. He just pulled back his spear when he heard a woman scream in terror. Of course, the creature ran off, and then God was angry at the loss of his quarry. So she tramped through the woods to see why a woman was in the forest and not in the local town. But I go into the forest all the time. Yes, but those were the old woods, Magdalene, the wilds where spirits and ghosts prowl. What do you mean, prowled? Prowled, like spirits and other evil things do. I can't just say they walked through the woods like you or me. They prowled. All right, keep going. Mars found a nymph, Cassia, bathing in a spring with a fat, ugly satyr goading her from the shore. Enraged at seeing the trapped nymph, Mars transformed into a wolf and slew the satyr. And in return, well, Cassia bathed the god. Heh. Ah, I see. Ha, I get it. They bathed. I did warn you, Magdalene. When Mars left the pool, he dripped onto the ground, and it blossomed with flowers and crops. They say that's why this valley is so fertile. That might be tricky to paint on the mural. I'm not sure if the council would approve. I doubt they would, but you're the artist, aren't you? You get to choose what the mural shows. I wouldn't let those old bastards keep you from painting what you want. So much of what the Romans left behind was destroyed over the years, but I like that we still have these tales. You can never really destroy stories as long as there are people to tell them. Of course, the Romans left a hell of a lot behind, too. Town is more Roman than Bavarian, really. Well, we are a part of the Holy Roman Empire. Haha, that we are, and not for lack of trying. Passing is actually much smaller now than it was in the Romans' day. At least that's what I make of it. The ruins go deep into the forest and all the way to the old mine. Half of Tassing is built on Roman stone. Take a walk around town, you'll start noticing things. We used their stone to build. The old temple by Satya's shrine has grown over, but the aqueduct runs for miles. Even the abbey used to be an old Roman fort. You can see some of the Roman paved stones under the road if you look hard. We may not be Roman, but this town is. Tassing has been building upon itself for hundreds of years. What a beautiful idea. That's the way of things. Most people don't notice the old stones, too busy in town to notice what's right in front of their eyes. Maybe I should go take a look at the mine. Get a better sense of what things were actually like. Haha, nothing will stop you, I see. Well, I won't either. Just keep an eye for any wolves or satyrs you might see down there. I'll let you know if I see any. Thanks for your help. Good luck, Magdalene. Be safe. A pig? Out here? It must have broke out of its pen. I wonder who it belongs to. All right. Thank you for the group hydrate. Everyone, if you're watching, please take a drink of something that does not have caffeine. Water yourselves like plants, my dears. All right, Baltus gave me this rope to climb down, but it might take a while. Should I go now? Climb down the shaft. Making our way down shaft, climbing fast. Gonna explore some ruins. Alright. There are a lot of different coins down here. How odd. It's not like this is a saint's well. Oh, a tablet. There's still writing on it. These tablets were usually used to keep track of accounts. They're easy to scrape and clean and maintain. This wax looks beyond use, though. Oh, it's a poem. I think it's a love note. Let's see. That's cute. This looks like a larger version of some of Balthus's contraptions. This winch must have been attached to some sort of hauling and pulling system. Fascinating. Oh, bones. They're far too big to be human. A piece of pottery. It's beautiful. Another shard. Yet another pottery piece. Ooh, another piece. Aw, cute! Oh, these must be the same kind of figurines Till and the other farmers find in the fields. To think that there are so many remnants of our ancestors scattered in fields and caves like this. Okay. Another piece. Another piece. I wonder if they're all the same pot. Latin inscription here. Fortunately. Oh, this looks like a Roman map of Tassing. I wonder what's changed. Let's see if I can map everything out. There's an aqueduct in the spring. The abbey was an old fort up on the hill. And there's the rest of town. Wait, what's this building? I don't recognize it. Mithrium. I don't know that word. I can't quite tell if it's meant to label on the map. Maybe some sort of temple? Whatever it is, it's not in Tassing now. That's odd. Pottery scattered everywhere. This almost looks like an altar, but what would an altar be doing in a salt mine? It's even carved out of salt. Another inscription. It's not very formal. A worker must have carved it. There's that word again, Mithraeum. It must have been important to the Romans. Hey, this piece looks like it matches the other piece I found. More Latin writing. I kind of wish I'd chosen the polyglot background after all. Oh well, it was a toss-up. Oh, another shard. I have a lot of these pottery pieces. I should find out if they're all from the same pot. Hmm. 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 Puzzle complete. Got it. The figures on this pot lid look like they're telling a story. These paintings must depict an early myth, even before the Romans. Let's see, this must be Perchta, and those must be forest spirits. Part of the wild hunt? Oh god, the next part looks like a human sacrifice. Someone, maybe a chieftain, is sacrificing a man to Perchta. The bottom half of the lid continues the story. These look like spirits. They must be coming in to feast on the sacrifice. That must be how our ancestors tried to keep Tassing safe. They offered sacrifices to Perchta. This is part of our history, but I'm not sure this is the best story to portray. I'll have to think more about it before I decide for certain. Alright, I better keep going before I run out of oil in my lamp. Oh, a cave-in. The wood here looks newer than the first part of the mine. Was the collapse recent? I wouldn't be able to go any further with all this rubble. I suppose this is as far as I can go. Still, the murals on the wall showed me what Tassing was like when the Romans were here. I wonder if I can find out where the Mithraeum was, or what it was. Putting the pottery shard back together showed one of the earliest stories of Tassing. I think I've seen everything I can down here, and my oil is running out. Time to climb back out. Ah! Wait, who's that? Oh, have a good night. Let me give you a tuck-in. Icky. There it is. I hope you have a great rest of your night, Fur. Who's that? Hello? Is someone there? Absolutely. Let's see. I better get out of the shaft before another rock comes crashing down. Who was that? Even Apollo and Artemis would have helped me out of here. Well, now that I have more information, I can make some decisions on the first section of the mural. I should get back to the Rathos and get to work. You. I'm talking to you. Answer me. You don't need to be so rude. I'm Hallerbrand, the Lord's gamekeeper. I'll give you courtesy when you merit courtesy. Why are you grazing pigs in the woods? I'm not. That's not my pig. I've been walking around this forest for hours. Other than the charcoal burner and the tinker, you're the only person I've seen. The pig doesn't belong to you. What are you doing here? Does everyone have to justify being in the woods? If I think you're stealing the Lord's wood or illegally grazing your pigs, yes. Alright, let me ask a different question. Whose pig is this? I don't know. The pig was in the woods when I came here. Ah, a mysterious lost pig, who apparently belongs to no one. I suppose so. The If I find any more pigs in these woods, I'll kill them on the spot. And those who brought them here. Do you understand? Remind your neighbors what happens when you break the Lord's laws. I knew the Lord's men patrolled these woods, but I've never seen one before. I didn't realize they were so strict. I suppose I should consider myself lucky. Anyway, time to get out of these woods and back to the Rathos. Poor pig. Wrong way. Pinky, welcome in, love. How are you? Thanks for collecting your daily blanket. You're getting closer and closer to the 100 mark. All right. Time to work on the mural. You were watching SAS Rogue Heroes with your mom? Oh, don't apologize for being late. Spending time with your mom is way more important. I hope you had fun watching that with her. I hope you and your mom are doing very well, Pinky. Let's see. Hey, Mags, how's the mural coming along? Magdalene. Can't you let it go? Mags is so much easier. No, Otto Zimmerman, I can't. Ugh, don't call me... Fine. Anyhow, Magdalene, how's the mural going? Doesn't look like much yet. Well, of course it doesn't look like anything now. I only just finished priming the wall. Now I have to decide what to depict. It's hard to piece together the history of Tassing when it happened so long ago. Since the Abbey library burned, I can only rely on stories from people around Tassing. Even when I could find out about the Romans and the pagans was obscure. I had to go into the old salt mine to find anything. At least now I know what to paint for the first part of the mural. So, what is it? I'll use the pottery and tools the farmers have found to show how we lived before the Romans. I'm sure Father Thomas will approve, but I don't know. Just sounds kind of boring. What made you choose this story anyway? It has the strongest connection to our farmers, things that they found. It's the most real. That makes a lot of sense. Other stories might feel like they don't really have anything to do with us. Thanks for explaining it. Of course, I want you all to understand why I'm making these choices. Well, now that I've figured out this portion of the mural, I better start thinking about the next section. I'll leave you to it, Magdalene. Good night, Otts. Good night, Magdalene. Let's see. Hi, yes, I haven't had mac and cheese in a while. I did have Alfredo pasta, if you'll take that instead. Now that I've decided how to depict Tassing's earliest history, I should decide how to paint Curso's history. Mother Illuminata's letter mentioned that Matthew Faciniso used to be a brother at Curso. She said he knew a great deal about the Abbey's history. I should write him and ask what he remembers. Oh, and I've got Esther's letter to answer, too. I should write them both now, before bed. All right. Where to begin? Mother Illuminata told me Matthew Newsom's early history. He's the Archdeacon of Sion now, so I should write him before the snows come. I'll write to Esther, too. Thanks for the lurk, Kaz. Most revered Matthew Fognikini So, Archdeacon of Sion. My name is Magdalene Druckern. I'm a daughter of Tassing's town printer, Claus. My father and I are creating a mural for Tassing's Rathos. We wanted to show the history of the town and the abbey. I heard you were the sacristan at Curso Abbey and knew a great deal about the abbey's early history. I understand you are a busy man, but we would be most appreciative of any information you could give us. If you know of any other places where we might learn about the abbey's history, we would appreciate it. Let's see. I know it may be a small comfort, but there are many in Tassing who regret what happened during the revolt. Sister Gertrude is still here, with the poor Clares. She speaks fondly of the old abbey. Thank you for your help, Magdalene. Let's see. Esther. Please forgive me for not writing sooner. So much has happened since I last wrote. Even as my last letter was en route to you, Dad was attacked in the workshop in the middle of the night. He survived, thank God, but his injuries are terrible. I worry about him. He's so dizzy he can't get out of bed. Some days his eyes become foggy and his memory fails him. Dr. Stoll says he's not going to recover, that it's only a matter of time before he succumbs to the injury. Of course, our good doctor is incompetent and a known drunkard, so he's been of little additional help. I can only pray that between resting and my ministrations, Dad can at least be comfortable. I have no idea who could have wanted to attack my father, or why. I found a note by him, too. All it said was, "Stop." It wasn't from the shop, because the script was written in the most elaborate hand I've ever seen. No one in Tassing has such skill in script, as far as I know. And anyway, I don't have the time to wonder about it. I've had my hands full running the workshop alone while tending to Dad. What's more, the town council intended to cancel the mural entirely. I had a hell of a time convincing them to let me paint it instead. They made a fuss about me being too young, not experienced enough, not strong enough to be on the scaffold. You know how it is. I suppose I shouldn't have expected any better of them. Working on the mural has been a welcome distraction from the naysayers and my chores. And worrying about Dad. Otts has been coming over under the pretense of helping me prepare my paints, too. I wish he'd stop. He's not subtle, and his flirting is annoying. I'd like to have the whole mural finished by Christmas if I can. I just want to finish it in time for Dad to see it. It would mean so much to him. If Dr. Souls is right, I don't know how long I'll have. I hope you're faring better than we are here. All my love, Magda. Several days pass. A couple weeks pass. Mr. Strucker and a few more letters for you. Take care. Thank you, sir. Safe travels. All right. First letter is from Reverend Matthew. Mistress Drucker and I was not acquainted with your family during my years at Curso. Even so, I remember your father was one of the townsfolk who prevented the peasantry from burning us alive. I'm not overly inclined to assist the people of Tassing in their endeavors to catalogue the origins of the abbey they destroyed. However, it was a long time ago. In the interest of posterity and Christian charity, I will tell you what I recall. Sometime after the Romans left, Christians settled in the region and built Curso Abbey on the ruins of a fortress. The abbey was founded by the noblewoman of the Curso family. She was both its patron and its first abbess. Perhaps 2 centuries ago, Curso changed to being run by an abbot. I do not know the reason, but many other double monasteries did likewise around the same time. It may have been done out of fear of being shut down, as double monasteries were frowned upon by the Pope. Sadly, that is the extent of my knowledge. Your neighbors put any other records about the abbey to the torch. Sic arset historia Cursus. Thus burned the history of Curso. While we cannot change the past, I have heard that Sisters of the Poor Clares have formed a new chapter at the abbey. I can only hope their love of apostolic poverty has not driven them to impoverish the shrine of St. Moritz. Assuming they have not consigned the content of Curso's former occupants to a bonfire, you may find something there. It is hard to be overjoyed at the news of your neighbor's late regrets. Many of the injuries inflicted 18 years ago will never heal. Regret cannot undo what has been done, but we can all find redemption through Christ. We must pray for love and reconciliation in the days ahead. In the end, that is all that matters. Winter comes swiftly. Huguenots and Lutherans plague my homeland. Thank the Lord you still live in a land ruled by the one true church. I hope this has been of some help to you and yours. May God keep and protect you. The Most Reverend Matthew of Saxony saw, Archdeacon of Sion. Another reply from Esther. Oh, Magdalene, I'm terribly sorry to hear about your father. My parents send their deepest condolences. If we can provide you anything from Prague, you need only send word. I know we are further away than is easy to travel, but I will see what we can do, what Hashem allows. Father says that he remembers no one who would want to harm your father. Yet the night I was born, he remembers great strife in the town. Perhaps there is old blood over depicting the night of the revolt. That is all he could suggest. We pray for you and your father every day in our offerings. Hashem will make all things right in time. He will exact justice on the culprit. I am encouraged to hear the town council let you continue the mural at all. The guilds here would protect your right to complete a job, especially once a contract has been reached. You give the men of the council too much grace. Why should you be forced to settle for their old ways of thinking? We live in a new age. An age where art and science have come together. An age when all may read the works of the great sages in their own language. Truly, when your father recovers, I urge you to come visit me in Prague. But I am glad you found some joy in your work on the mural. We are all well here. Elisha has been carving a new set of wood cuttings, and Father has agreed to a new contract with the university. I found Simon. His family didn't move far away after all. He's planning on working as a doctor in the city once the expulsion order ends. His parents have been meeting with Mother and Father quite often now, so I hope that I will be sending good news in my next letter. With Hashem's help. Please inform us of your father's condition in your next letter. Be well. Esther. That's all the letters I have for now. I should head home and check on Dad. Werner was supposed to come check Dad today. I wonder where he is. Until Ulenspogel pretended to be a doctor. At least he showed up and his patients felt better. What's Werner's excuse? Maybe I should try and find him later. Good morning, Magdalene. Good morning, Dad. Feeling any better? Your fever broke at dawn this morning. A little stronger. All things in time. Do you want anything to eat before I leave for the day? I'm working on the next section of the mural. I'm not so hungry right now. I'll be right out. Your letter from the Archdeacon, yes, that's right. What did you learn from him? Well, I'm pretty sure he still hates everyone in Tassing. He was still upset about the Abbey's destruction. He did say the Abbey was founded by a noblewoman after the Romans left. Everything else burned in the fire. How unfortunate. I know the brothers kept careful records of the monastery. So much lost in one night. The Archdeacon did suggest the poor Clares might have held on to some of the records from the convent. I should be able to learn more about Tassing's Christian history there. An excellent place to start, Magdalene. Sister Gertrude doesn't come out of the convent much, but I think it's worth asking her. Maybe Father Thomas knows something too. I should ask him. If I recall correctly, the miller's wife has a long family history in Tassing. She may know something of the local history that the others have forgotten. Elsie? I thought she moved here when she married. She doesn't have any relatives in town. Not anymore. Age, illness, and marriage took the rest of her family. But the Cavezels used to live all up and down this valley. Go talk to her. I will. Thanks, Dad. Maybe something remained in the Abbey's ruins. I should definitely see what's left. You be careful. Those ruins are dangerous. I won't go far into them, Dad, just to take a look. All right, wear a scarf, too. It's getting cold out now. I can feel it in my bones. Don't worry, Dad. I'll see you tonight, all right? Good luck. All right, we gotta go talk to Elsie. Magdalene, dear, what brings you up the hill? Dad suggested I ask about your family for the mural. He said your sister used to tell him about your family history. Your family name was Cavazel, wasn't it? Oh. Not a soul in town has asked me about my family in years. I was beginning to think my neighbors had forgotten us. I'm not surprised your father remembers, the Cavazels. He was sweet on my sister before he met your mother. I am the last of us left now. Is that a local name? I should think so. My grandfather told me the Cavazels had lived in Tassing for hundreds of years. Perhaps even thousands, though it seems impossible to imagine a time so long ago. Were they Romans? No, the Cavazels were part of the old people, the original Bavarian people. They helped to resettle Tassing after the Romans left. Built their new home right on the spot where they had been living when the Romans arrived. Interesting. Doesn't that seem unlikely? Oh, who can say? Why does a story need to be true? However true it may or may not be doesn't matter, Magda. What matters is that I believe that it connects me to my ancestors. When I think of the ancient Cavazels driven from their land only to find it again and become Christians, they feel nearer to me. Do you understand? I think so. It's like when my dad tells me stories about courting my mom. I don't remember her face, but when he tells me about her smile, I can almost recall it. It doesn't matter whether you really remember. When I sing my sister's favorite songs to Ulrike, I may not know all the words anymore, but that's all right. Just as I may not know exactly how the Cavazels resettled Tassing, What matters is that I feel close to her and them, even though they are so far from me now. That is what stories are for, Magda. Now go on. You've got a mural to complete. Thank you, Elsie. You've given me much to consider. Bless you, Magdalene, dear. Bless you, Magdalene. Hello, Anna. How are you? Oh, keeping busy. There's always plenty to do around the house. How's the mural coming? Paul mentioned your progress is quite impressive. Oh, I'll have to thank him. That's high praise from... See, I'm making steady progress. I think I'll be finished just before the new year. Oh, how wonderful. I'll have to bring Andreas and Ulrike by sometime to see your progress. We won't get in your way, of course. I'm sure they'd love to learn about the process. You're all more than welcome, but watch your step. There's plaster everywhere. I've just mixed a new batch to keep the wall moist. It's hard to maintain the right texture when it's so cold out. Oh, I can imagine. I had a similar problem when I helped my mother in the bakery. Rolling dough in the winter was such trouble we had to throw out so many batches that wouldn't rise. Your discipline is admirable, Magdalene. You know, I was a real rascal back in the day. Skipped on working with my parents more times than I can count. But you're so hardworking, Anna. I can't imagine you making trouble. It's funny to consider, isn't it? I was a thief and a scoundrel. It started with cake from my mother's table, still hot from the oven. Soon it was silverware, mugs, trinkets I found around town. Of course, stealing is against the commandments. So my father would make me return everything if I hadn't eaten it already and marched me to church to pray. Father Thomas grew accustomed to seeing me more often than Sunday mornings. What changed? I grew out of the habit over time. I think I started to see why my parents had such a devotion to the Lord. Stealing was my way of acting out. But when the trouble started in town, I realized that my thieving wasn't doing any good. I decided I'd rather honor my father and mother as God commands. It gives me grace with Andreas and Ulrich on the hard days, and with the rest of the town too. So they named one son after Ulrich and one after Andreas? I think everyone in Tassing can learn from your example, Anna. Hopefully from my present one, rather than my past. Well, I won't keep you any longer. I'm sure you have plenty of mural work to do. I'll see you later, Anna. Bless you, Magdalene. Good morning, Magdalene. How's the mural coming along? I'm making good progress. I've started working on the history of the saints today. Good. Tassing's a pilgrimage town, after all. What sort of mural are you creating, Magdalene? I believe Claus was planning on a fresco. I'll start with the intonacchio, then paint the fresco over it so that I have clear consistency. I'll see. Do you have enough plaster? The Rathaus wall is so large, I was worried it wouldn't stay wet for long. Since when did the town miller know so much about art? It's been an interest of mine since childhood, but my father disapproved. After my mother and I left Tassing, we stayed with her family for a few months before we heard what happened. Your father's friend, Andreas, he encouraged me to draw. While we were away, I studied in my uncle's library. I've collected books about various art styles since we returned. I had no idea, Paul. Why didn't you want to paint the mural yourself? I'm not nearly as skilled as you or your father. I know I had my doubts about you taking on the project, Magdalene, but you're the most skilled artist in Tassing. After your father, of course. Well, anyway, I'm glad the mural is going well. Forgive my sudden questioning about it. I've been busy preparing for the council's next meeting. I haven't had much time with Anna as usual. She says I get a bit frantic when I'm overwhelmed. Is the council working on something new? We're considering yearly maintenance checks on every house in Tassing. The idea's had quite a bit more pushback than we'd anticipated. New ideas always face some kind of opposition. Thank you, Magdalene. I understand the hesitation folks like to look after their own homes, their own land. But this would help protect those in Tassing who don't have the skill to fix things themselves. Widows like Agnes or Gret. In any case, the matter is far from resolved. I imagine spring will come before anything is done. I'd better get back to work. Thank you for letting me interrupt your day, Magdalene. God bless you. Until later, Paul. But it's still so beautiful here, Martha. One more moment. All right, take your time. Oh, hello, Magdalene. Dad, look who it is. Good morning, Mistress Drucker. Hello, Martha, Carl. How are you today? Our usual walk around town. November hasn't grown too cold yet. Dr. Stoll says Dad needs to keep using that leg or the pain will get worse. And I'm getting old. Ha ha. Not so old you can sit around at home telling stories. You're about the same age as my dad, aren't you? Ah, Claus has always been too stubborn to grow old. Shame what happened to him. As if you're not stubborn too. No arguments from me there. See. You're in a good mood today, I see. Plenty of reason to be. Tassing never ceases to be beautiful to me. Isn't the meadow a wondrous sight even in this season? On the days the Lord strengthens me, I like to get a bit higher up in the mountains. Used to admire the view with Anton from here. Ah, Anton, my poor boy. It's all right, Dad. I'm sorry, Carl. It's not your fault, Magdalene. Just a babe then. I can't... It's my fault that he died. It's not, Dad. You know it's not. He shouldn't have been with me that night. He shouldn't have. I was a fool. Let him continue. The abbey was engulfed in flames. The heat, you wouldn't believe it, seared the hair off my eyebrows. I was bleeding. Anton tried to drag me out of the fight. Then that God-forsaken Lanzknecht, the mercenaries, stepped between us. I hope he burns in hell. I can't imagine what that was like. I still think of my mother every day. Nothing can make up for a loss like that. I pray I will see him in death. Dad, it's not good for you to dwell on these memories. I know. Permit an old man his weakness. How old were you during the revolt, Martha? 7 or so? I didn't understand what was happening. Someone brought Dad home in the middle of the night. It was dark, confusing. There was screaming outside. Mom and a couple of the men who brought Dad in were trying to patch up the wound, but it wouldn't stop bleeding. She kept shouting, "Where's Anton? Where's Anton?" There was blood on the floor. You cried so much you threw up. We couldn't get you to stop. I couldn't understand where Anton had gone. Dad tried to explain, but... Martha, my dear, enough of that. I am so sorry. How did you go on? Did I? I don't know. Some nights I think I am there still. The abbey is always burning. My Helena passed not long after. I was left alone with Martha to care for. I had to keep going for Martha, and somehow my daughter grew into a wonderful woman despite it all. I suppose that was all Helena's doing. Dad, if I'm any good, it's because of you. Thank you for telling me about the night, Carl, Martha. Time doesn't heal, Magdalene, but it does dull the ache. It's time we continued with the walk, Dad. Yes, dear, I'm feeling much more alive now. Be well, you two. All right, up to the Abbey. We'll do a little bit more. Try to at least finish this day, and then I'm probably going to need to raid out before the end of the hour. Let's see. I should talk to Sister Gertrude since she was a Benedictine nun at Curso before the poor Clares arrived. She'd be able to tell me about the convent's history for the mural. Oh, Lord bless you, Magdalene. I didn't expect to see you in the convent grounds today. What brings you up here? God bless you, sister. I was hoping you could help me with the Rathos mural. Did you need more paint? I believe I have enough galls stored today. No, thank you, sister. I have more than enough paint. I wanted to ask about the history of Curso, actually. I'd like to include the Abbey's founding and the history of tossing saints to the Rathos mural. I wrote the Reverend Matthew since he lived in the Abbey, but wanted to see the place firsthand. Father Matthew became a reverend, did he? He was always suited to such a role. But I don't suppose that's what you came up the hill for. You're curious about the saint's history, yes? Yes, I was hoping you could show me around the convent and tell me about it. Poor Clares don't allow outsiders within the convent, even other women. Mother Francisca wouldn't like anyone coming in for such a worldly concern. I understand. However, Mother Francisca always welcomes those who are considering joining the order. If a young woman sincerely considered joining the convent, she may be allowed to enter and observe the sisters. Who knows what else she may discover while contemplating the holy life, Well, I suppose exploring all my options can't hurt. Touring the convent will take some time. Would you like to see Mother Francisca now? Yes, let's go. Mother Francisca, I'd like to introduce Magdalene Druckern. The printer's daughter, yes. God bless you, Magdalene. Father Thomas told us of your father's condition, and we pray for his recovery daily. Oh, thank you, Abbess. Such is our duty to serve the Lord and the community that provides for us. Now, what is this about, Sister Gertrude? You know the holy rules. Why bring young Mistress Druckern to me? Forgive me, Mother. Magdalene is searching for a place in the world and is contemplating the holy life. I thought observing the sisters might aid her in the spiritual search. She was encouraged by the idea. Yes. I wonder that you've never come up to the Abbey before, Mr. Druckern. If God is calling you to the convent, I am more than willing to help you fulfill that divine cause. What brought this change on? Why are you interested in joining the poor Clares? I'm finishing them. I don't like any of my options. The heck? I don't like any of these options. I don't want to lie. But I also don't think she's, like, uninterested in, like, having a relationship. I like the idea that she's like, yeah, I want to marry a master printer and join the guild. Like, more, like, ambition-oriented. Like, I don't, but neither of these are considered lies. Versus the one that actually is a lie. We're gonna lie. We'll see if it works out. Mistress Magdalene, would you describe this vision for me? Receiving a message from God is a grave matter. I was sitting under the oak tree by the shrine, and Satya appeared to me. She told me that the mural is incomplete, and in order to finish it in a godly way, I need to learn more about Curso. You may not have had a vision, but a particularly vivid dream. Either way, the Rathos mural, if it must be completed, ought to represent the saints' legends. Did Satya say anything else? Only that I ought to pay homage to her and ask someone for more insight. I came straight to the convent. You were right to do so. There are many spirits who haunt dreams, and not all of them are from the Lord. I suggest you ask Father Thomas about this vision. He has the education to best aid you there. I'll do that. Thank you, Mother. While I can't speak to the vision itself, I'm happy to tell you about the poor Clares. Our small convent used to be part of a larger Curso double monastery, as I'm sure you've been told by Sister Gertrude. However, the poor Clares live far differently than the Benedictines once lived here. We believe that it is not ours to produce and live solely on the alms of the community of Tassing as they see fit to give. Likewise, none of the sisters here own any personal property. We share this convent as a gift from the Church. We believe that the Lord called us into a life of poverty and service. Does such a life appeal to you, Magdalene? I'm not entirely certain yet. I'd like to explore and look around, get a feel for the place. Magdalene, you must not have understood me. We have deliberately closed ourselves off from the world. I won't have a laywoman bothering our sisters from their duties or disturbing our rule. However, I will allow Sister Suzanne, to show you our duties. Please take your time. When you have finished, please come find me, and we will discuss your decision to join. Finally, I thought she'd never finish. What? Truthfully, I'm not here to join the convent. I'm looking for references for a mural I'm painting in the Rathos. Oh. Time to start exploring. You can either come or not. Up to you. But Mother Francisca said... She said that as long as I'm with you, it's fine to look around. Are you going to get us both in trouble? No, I always follow Mother Francisca's orders. The convent has many parts. The kitchen, the aquarium, the chapter house, the yard, the old workshop, though no one uses the old shed anymore. I'll leave it to you to decide where to go first. This is the chapel where we all gather for Mass and liturgy. It's the oldest part of the convent, and the most drafty. Hello again, Sister Gertrude. The sisters have done some minor retouches over the years, but it has represented the abbey from its earliest days. Oh, there's this tower in the library. The cloister's still being constructed there. Yes, the tower was a burgfried long before the structure became a monastery. The Duchy gifted it to the Benedictine order after the Holy Roman Empire grew. They had no use for it as a keep. These walls have protected Tassing from attacks of spiritual and steel for generations. There's some Latin here too, but I can't read it very well. God called Lady Sabine to lead our sisters and brothers in 1261. Lord Curso's castle was destroyed by fire in the year of the death of Emperor Friedrich II. Only the tower remained. Thank you, Sister Suzanne. Yes, the first lists the abbey's founding date. The Lady Curso was actually the one to suggest the old castle be furnished into a double monastery. We added the second shortly after the revolt. Mother Illuminata thought it would be fitting, given, even if the sisters were not here, some record of what occurred remain. Curso is unique, a double monastery with 2 saints, 1 male and 1 female, to guard the town and the abbey. Fascinating to think that even before the Duke gifted it to the church, the fortification was founded by St. Moritz. S, thank you for the lurk. The saints have a long history in these lands. Many things once thought lost are truly foundational to how we live. You were right, sister. This mural will be a great reference for the Rathos. And I'm glad to have helped. God bless you, Magdalene. Here's the aquarium. Most of the Abbey's visitors come in here, but aren't allowed to enter. We aren't allowed to go into the outside world either. Like Mother Francisca said, isolation is part of our vows. Sister Gertrude once told me the old Benedictine sisters used to go out into town sometimes, even talk to men on occasion. And I'm stuck here, staring at these walls for the rest of my life. Are you unhappy here, Sister Suzanne? I don't know. My father promised me to the church as a baby, some oath he swore when my mother struggled in her pregnancy. So there I was, dropped into the Poor Clares the summer I turned 17. And they took you in just like that. Nobody asked what you wanted. Why should they? The Poor Clares rely on the offerings of others, even their children, to subsist. My family is devoted to the church. I've only been in the convent for 2 years, but I'm trying my best. I don't mind the prayers or the hours, and I'm sure of my devotion to the Lord, but this isn't what I wanted. But since when did a woman ever get what she wanted without being punished? Eve couldn't even manage it. I understand. I have more autonomy to go where I want, but I'm still bound by the expectations of marriage and homemaking. I remember the days of running around town. I wish I could have gotten married. I wanted to be a mother. Sometimes I get jealous of Sister Gertrude and even Sister Marguerite. At least they got to see something of the outside world before they were 20. If you could do anything else, let's see. What would it be? I would have liked to go to one of the big cities at least once. I would have been happy just to be a shopkeeper's wife. Thanks for listening, Magdalene. Anyway, let me show you the rest of the cloister. Lead on. Girl, run away! Live your dreams! Brr, it's colder today. There's not much in the yard that should help you, I think. Anything was here long been covered in weeds. All I know about this place is that the walls were added when the convent was built into a monastery. Oh, God bless you, Sister Benedicta. Sister Suzanne, God bless you. Oh, this ice is hard. Do I recognize you, Sister Benedicta? I feel like I've seen you in town once or twice. You'd have seen her. Sister Benedicta is the youngest of the sisters. Mother Francisca allows only one sister to deal with the townsfolk. Benedicta received this privilege. Burden, more like. I have to run around everywhere, gathering all the food and doing all the chores. I'd rather be inside, where it's warm. What are you doing in the convent, anyway? I'm considering joining the Poor Clares. Oh, you are? It'd be nice to have another new face around. Don't let me keep you. Actually, Sister Benedicta, I wanted to ask you some questions. Do you like being a nun? Oh, yes, I don't mind it at all. It's far quieter than home, and I don't have to share my bed with my siblings anymore. I like to help the older sisters. I don't mind the chores, except when it's cold like this. One more question, Sister Benedicta. Have you seen any mysterious figures or ghosts lately? Ghosts? No, everything has been normal recently. I have not noticed anything odd. Is this about Sister Marie's ghost? I think it's Martyrs. Oh, no. Who? Maritis. Don't tell Mother Francisca this, but I found an old book about Christian legends hidden in the workshop. It said that a Roman commander named Maritis conquered Tassing, but the colony failed. Most of the town was empty until Christian refugees found the town hidden in the valley. It was a miracle. I wonder if this is a different retelling of St. Moritz saving Tassing. Oh, maybe. I don't remember if the book mentioned any saints. The Latin was hard to read. Anyway, when Sister Marie said she saw a ghost, I thought it must be Maritis, trying to get us out. A Roman ghost couldn't be happy about his tower being turned into an abbey, could he? What'd you do with this book, sister? Oh, well, I had it with me in the kitchen one day. I, accidentally laid the fire poker on it. Stare in shock and horror. Sister Benedicta! I tried to fix it, but it's unreadable now. Sorry, Magdalene. That's all right. That book probably would have gone unread otherwise. I'm glad you were enjoying it. Besides, the story gives me ideas for the Rathos mural. Thanks for telling me about the book, sister. I won't tell Mother Francisca. God bless you. Thanks, Magdalene. God bless you. Cough. The workshop is covered in dust. This was the Benedictine sisters' workshop. They used to make badges and art for pilgrims coming to see the hand of St. Moritz. Looks like everything was just left here after the fire. Nothing's been used in years. We can't subsist on painting, and the poor Clares don't produce goods for sale, so we have no reason to be in here. But art allows us to find beauty in life. Even Christ said Father clothed the lilies of the valley in beauty. I agree, but that's not the rule of the poor Clares. Mother Francisca considers art a temptation into hedonism. Mother Francisca doesn't let us come in here unless it's to put something in storage. I've come in a few times and noticed some of the brushes have gone missing. Paint pots, too. You think one of the sisters is secretly painting? Oh, God, no. We all live too close together in the convent for something like that to go unnoticed. In any case, I think it's sad the workshop is left like this. Truthfully, Magdalene, I don't think you should join the convent, even if that's not what you were here to do anyway. Gertrude talks about you, and you seem to love your art. Without it, you'd hate it here. Yeah, that's probably true. Ooh. These old badges are beautiful. I hope the pilgrims who bought them love them too. Such valuable paint left to dry and crack on the palettes. Old parchment scrap here. It's different than the others. Looks like a scrap from a manuscript. There's something written in Latin in the margin. It says, the Mithraeum of Tassing had been destroyed by a flood. Mithraeum. That's the same word I saw in the Roman section of the mine. This might be from the book Sister Benedicta found. I wonder why it would mention the Mithraeum. I don't know. It's a word I've never heard before. There's certainly nothing in the convent by that name. The script is definitely German. I wonder if this is from a book written by Incurso itself. Well, the note says the Mithraeum was destroyed, so I suppose it doesn't matter much now. Hello, Marguerite. It's Magdalene. Oh, Magdalene, God bless you. You don't normally come into the convent alone. What brings you here? Not that you're not welcome, of course. It's always wonderful to have visitors. I had spare time, thought I would say hello. Oh, well, hello. Haha. It is good to hear your voice, though. I enjoy it when outsiders visit the convent. Do you miss the outside world much, sister? Yes, sometimes. I miss the other Benedictine sisters especially. She'd never admit it, but Sister Lisbeth had the most wonderful voice. I always stood next to her if I could. Why stay then? Why didn't you leave when the Benedictines left Curso? Truth be told, I was too frightened to leave. Curso is my home. I didn't like the idea of becoming accustomed to a new place, learning the convent's in and outs was hard enough. I never went outside the convent much anyway. I know where everything is here, even if it's changed over the years. Sister Gertrude had already planned to stay too. The garden needs tending. 2 hands make light work. Besides, I can't leave Mossfanger behind. Ah, of course. She truly is Queen of Curso. Has the convent changed very much since the poor Clares arrived? The food is simpler, and some of the prayers are different, but all the chores in the gardening is the same. Gertrude misses making ink for the scriptorium, but I've enjoyed learning the sisters' new customs. Speaking of which, I should probably return to my chores. Of course, sister. Apologies for interrupting. Not at all, Magdalene. God bless you. This is the kitchen. There's not anything interesting here. Sister Marie and Sister Yuzbo take care of most of the kitchen duties, but everyone pitches in when needed. Bless you, Magdalene. God bless you, sister. How goes the cooking? As well as the Lord wills it. My old fingers fumble from time to time, but it is my privilege to prepare supper for the other sisters. That's very noble of you. Just as God gave Paul a thorn in his side, so too did he give me the pains of age to strengthen my faith. Such things are a blessing when compared to the pains Christ carried upon the cross. But didn't Christ die so that we don't have to suffer unnecessarily? In the next life, yes, but Christ said we would face hardships while we live on this earth. I have chosen to find meaning and devotion to the Lord through my hardship. Thank you for sharing your perspective with me, sister. You are most welcome, child. God bless you. God bless you, child. Are you delivering something? Oh, I'm considering joining the convent, so Mother Francisca graciously allowed me to visit with you. Hallelujah! Glory and praise be that you've brought such joy to me this day, child. I haven't joined yet, sister. Do you have a strong stomach? Perhaps you can help Sister Yuzbo and me in the kitchens. I enjoy preparing meals for the sister that nourish us, but I can never bring myself to butcher the animals. Sister Yuzbo has graciously taken on that task for me. We need sustenance, but I fear butchering any animal is wrong according to the rule of St. Francis. To cause suffering to any living creature is unnecessary and evil, even if God granted Adam and Eve dominion over the animals. The kitchen seems fairly simple. Is there anything here from the convent's founding days? No more than the structure itself, I'm afraid. Cookware needs replacing over the years. Though some nights a ghost appears to me by the cook fire, a lost spirit trapped between heaven and hell. Sister Marie, not this again. Not to Magdalene, please. Could this have been the ghost of one of the sisters from the founding of the convent? Maybe even Saint Tassia. If it was, she has never said a word to me, though I fell prostrate in prayer before her. The spirit, whoever it is, rose up through the ground at vigils. Dawn and dusk are the hours when the boundaries between this world and the spiritual world are weakest. We may be the newest arrivals here, but this convent is very old. Perhaps there was something Roman underneath this foundation centuries before. The spirit may seek to know the presence of God now that it rests on holy ground. Spirit. Why would it come to the convent, though? It breaks my heart to think this spirit was crying out for help, trapped beyond heaven's reach. Why don't we keep going, Magdalene? It's better not to get Sister Marie too upset. Of course. God bless you, sister. God bless you, child. Well, you've seen the entire convent, so there's not much here. What do you think of it? I understand the appeal of such a small life. It offers its own freedoms from the world, even if I'm not drawn to it. That's true. We aren't bound by the worries and thoughts of the world. It's been so long since I've spoken to anyone from outside the convent, I'm reminded of the life I once had. Now you have me thinking about whether or not I should remain with the sisters. I think you should go. You never chose this life. You deserve to have the life you truly want. Magdalene, I think you're right. My family's devotion doesn't have to be mine. Maybe I can find a way out in time. I'll help however I can, Suzanne. I'm sure we have some spare provisions at home. Really? That would be wonderful, so long as no one found out. Anyway, we should return to Mother Francisca before she suspects something. I learned a lot today. Thank you for showing me around the convent. Thank you, Magdalene. Everything has been more interesting than any I can remember in the Abbey. Come, let's find Mother Francisca. She'll be wanting to hear what you thought of the place. Well, Magdalene, what is your assessment of the Poor Clares? Is the good Lord calling you to a life with us as a sister? Luma, welcome in, love. Thanks for collecting your daily blanket. How are you doing? Let's see. I can't give that up so soon. Motherhood is a divine blessing, Magdalene. Be careful with your sarcasm. I don't know what you're talking about. I think you do, young lady. Our community is quite modest compared to the splendor of old Benedictine house operating under the rule of a powerful abbot. I see why fewer women are drawn to the order these days. I will pray that you find your way, Magdalene. God bless you. Ah, Magdalene, how did your little expedition go? Well, I learned about the Poor Clares, but not as much about the history of the Abbey as I wanted. But sister, there's something I don't understand. The Abbey was so prosperous. Why didn't the monks rebuild it after the fire? What a task that would be. The chapel was beautiful. The stained glass always caught my eye in the mornings. There was a great deal of anger and sadness in Tassing that night. The abbot felt the brothers and sisters were no longer welcome in Tassing and moved on. In truth, the Abbey's dissolution was inevitable. Curso was running out of money and patrons. The riot and the fire were simply a particularly awful and painful way to end the monastery. Did anything survive the fire? Some of the buildings are intact, but all are terribly overgrown. I haven't dared forage in the rubble. I doubt you'd find anything of help for your mural inside other than charred wood and parchment. It still might be worth taking a look if I'm careful. I worry after you sometimes, Magdalene. I really do. Thank you for all your help, Sister Gertrude. You're most welcome, Magdalene. Bless you. Let's see. Part of the history of the Abbey of Tassing, it must be written down somewhere. Hand to St. Moritz. The Poor Clares take care of it now that the Benedictines are gone. My God, this is amazing. I wonder what it must have looked like before the fire. Everything collapsed. I'll have to be careful climbing over this rubble to get past. no, I can't get back up there. If I climb it, it might collapse further. I'll have to find another way out. There's nothing left of the old staircase. I guess I can't go this way. The vines go all the way to the top, though. They look sturdy enough to hold my weight. There's no other way out. I can see all of Tassing from here. I wonder if I can piece together the foundations of the Abbey and find a way to get to the library. I bet I could get down this way. The roof looks pretty stable. Oh, God. I remember when the library burned down. Dad told me I was just a baby, but I remember the flames coming out of the windows. So many people were screaming and running around, I cried myself to sleep that night. I haven't seen this place since then. It doesn't look like there's anything left inside. I suppose it was too much to hope for. Well, Magdalene, how are you going to get out of here? Excuse me, sorry. This place is a mess. How sad. Oh, an old mural. It's worn, but I can still see some of the figures. A dance of death. There's some graffiti. Including about... let's see. What? These figures look new. The paint can't be more than a few years old. Someone's been adding to this. This feels wrong. Who would add figures to the Dance of Death and why? These look like people from the town, from here, people who died. That must be the Baron, and that's Otto. Wait, is that? Someone's here. Hello? Who are you? The door! Whoever was watching me must have opened it. I don't like this. I think I've seen everything left at the Abbey. I want to get out of here. Snowing already? The almanac said it shouldn't start for another week. I think we're in for a hard winter. Even the old guest house is falling apart. Let's see. Father Thomas. Let's see. Ask around about Martin Bauer. We could try going to the Bauer farm. Let's see. Afternoon, Magdalene. How's Claus? Enduring. Even when his speech is slurred, he keeps a cheerful heart. I don't know what life would be like without him. Claus is a good man, Magdalene. Tassing is a better place thanks to him. He's one of the few in Tassing who hasn't been on my back this whole time. What do you mean? Don't pretend like you haven't heard. Townsfolk have whispered shit about me for years. So what if I occasionally get into a few brawls? I'm an honest man. I wasn't involved with what happened to Otto Zimmerman. I supported his cause. I've pulled my weight around here, tilled the soil, salted the meats, provided for Brigitte and Kraft. I've done enough backbreaking wood work for this family. Can't a man just have a goddamn rest? I believe you, Martin. You seem like you could use a respite. Damn right. Right, I've lost enough time to this as it is. Time for you to go. Wait, I almost forgot the reason I came to you. I'm trying to learn about the history of Tassing. I was told you could help. Me? What do I know about history? Mother Illuminata told me you borrowed a book of local history from Baron Rothvogel. Mother Illuminata? Oh, you mean one of the old nuns from the convent. Sure, a book. I might have taken it back then. That was a lifetime ago. I can't remember the book or what I did with it. Those years are a blur. Probably threw it away somewhere, or left it at home. Wouldn't have been much for me to do with a book. I can't read. Too unique for me to have sold, too. No one outside Tassing cares about its history anyway. Thanks for the help, I guess. If there's nothing else, I got work to do. Until later, Martin. Magdalene, how are you keeping? I'm eager to continue work on the mural. I have so much to do before Christmas. I'm certain it will be the pride of Tassing when you're through. You've always had your mother's talent for art. And how's your dad? You're one of the only people who have asked how I'm doing before asking about my dad. I know how it is to be the sole caregiver. Yourself disappears behind the needs of the person you're looking after. I worry about you carrying that weight alone. I remember when my dad fell. We cared for him the best we could, but those few months before he passed were a tough time for everyone. But I believe God will pull your dad through whatever the doctor says. We need him. God willing, you're right. I'm at his mercy. God willing, amen. Have you thought about what you'll do if your dad doesn't come through this? I can't think that far ahead right now. You're right, of course. Focus on the here and now. Be here for your dad. But you're a good girl, Magda. There are any number of families in Tassing who'd be happy to take you. You have someone in mind, don't you? I promise you, I do not. Such a modest girl, your dad raised you right. I mean, Otts, of course. He's about as subtle as his father, God rest Otto's soul. I miss him. I wish I got to meet him, properly, I mean. He made an impression, that's for certain. Oh, the girls around town knew better than to moon after him, though that didn't stop some of us. He was Eva's from the start. As Otts appears to be yours, huh? But if nothing ever comes of that, know that you're always welcome in my family, Magda. Kraft's a nice, hard-working boy. He's got a sharp mind. He can provide for a family. I'm not sure we're a good match. Not every marriage starts off on solid footing, but if you pray and work and trust in the Lord, you can find it in time. Believe me. You're not making the prospect sound very enticing. Marriage is our natural state. It's in our homes that we're closest to the Lord. God made us from Adam's rib because he meant for us to be part. You would be lonely to never know what the fullness of purpose. That's no life for someone like you. You're not the first person to tell me so. Here. In any case, I should get back to the chores. Remember what I said. Whatever happens, you're always welcome in my home. Before I actually had a question. Martin is supposed to have stolen it from the Baron who was killed years ago. Do you know what happened to it? Oh. I hope this doesn't get me into any trouble, but I still have it hidden in a drawer. Martin left it behind when he ran off. Why'd you keep it? What was I supposed to do? The Baron was killed soon after, and I was holding his stolen book. I didn't want Martin to get in any more trouble than he already was in. I never read it, though. I don't read well. I could take it off your hands. No one would ever know you kept it. Yeah, I trust you to be true to your word, Magda. I'd like to have nothing to do with it, to be frank. It reminds me of difficult times. A stolen book of a dead nobleman in our home. Perhaps it's spoiled our milk and turned our eggs all these years. Here you are. Please don't tell anyone I had this. Ah, Historia Tasse. It's in Latin, which I don't read well. I'll puzzle over it in the evening. Thank you, Brigida. You've been a big help. Dang it, I really should have chosen the polyglot method. Oh, next time. Let's see. Mary, Mother of Jesus. Her painting has been here as long as I can remember. God bless you, Magdalene. And God bless you, Father Thomas. Do you have a moment? Of course. What can I help you with? I wanted to ask you about Tassing Saints. I'd like to represent them in the Rathaus. I'm thrilled to hear it. The saints will make a wonderful centerpiece for the murals. let's make a deal. Let's make a deal. I listen rapturously as you tell me about the saints, and you don't press me about putting them in the mural. Very well. But you know there is one saint you're overlooking. Contemplate. Why, the Blessed Virgin, of course, Mary. Many people forget that Mary's the greatest saint, and she visited one of the peasants here in Tassing centuries ago. The Virgin Mary appeared in Tassing? Why? Yes, she appeared to give a message. Centuries ago, a farmer in the fields behind us had 3 visions of Mary. In the first, she told him that she wanted him to tell the bishop of Freezing that she had appeared. The peasant traveled down to the Freezing, but the bishop would not see or hear him. That's not a short trip. It certainly is not, but the peasant had received a holy vision. What else could one do in the face of a divine revelation? The peasant returned to Tassing and had another vision in the field. The Virgin showed him a pattern, a labyrinth. She told him to draw it on a sheet of birch bark and bring the drawing to the Bishop of Freezing. The bishop attempted to turn the peasant away, but he could see the drawing of the labyrinth in his hands. It was the same image that the bishop had seen in a dream 3 nights earlier. He met with the peasant, who told him of the 2 apparitions he had seen here in Tassing. The bishop was moved by the peasant's story and came here to Tassing. He did. It's the only time the bishop has ever come to Tassing. And when the bishop came, Mary appeared to the both of them. She told the farmer that the town needed to build this church. She told the bishop to support the town. And so the bishop helped to fund the creation of this church. The people of Tassing have been using it ever since. I think if I include the saints in the mural, I'll place Our Lady among them. I think that's a most excellent idea, Magdalene. It will help reinforce Our Lady's presence in the minds of the faithful. A worthy addition to the story and devotion of our people. Thank you for the story, Father Thomas. You're most welcome. Let's see. All right, I guess we gotta go to the Rathos now. Do the work. And then as soon as I finish up this day, I'll need to get going. Magdalene. Dr. Stolz. So you're doing quick work with the mural, eh? I hope it doesn't make you sloppy. Well, I've rigged the scaffolding sheets so that enough air can flow through. That way the layers dry quickly. Ah, yes. How very clever of you. In any case, the council wants to hear what you're doing. I've been researching the early Christian history of Tassing after the Romans left, learning how people settled in the ruins, how the abbey was founded, why our saints are important to us. It was a lot to take in, but I've settled on my subject. And? I want to show history how it happened. I'll paint Lady Curso founding the abbey from the old Burgfried. That might rub some people in town the wrong way. Saints are a core part of Tassing's history, after all. People want to cling to the manner of stories in order to give their lives some meaning. mural isn't for your benefit to make tassing to look good. Good. After this section, there's still so much work to do. I haven't even figured out how I'm going to portray the revolt. Ah, yes. I imagine it poses difficulties the other murals do not. It's a strange thing to tell a story that still lives in the hearts of so many people here. I don't think anyone wants to talk about it. They've all just locked it away. Sounds like you have your work cut out for you. I'll leave you to it then. Now I feel like I should have chosen the Saints, but... Have you ever seen someone lurking around the Never mind. Good night. See. Right back to Esther, right to the Archdeacon, read the old book. I think I'm going to end here. Yeah, I think I'm going to stop here. Get you guys out with plenty of time before the next ads. Because I need to handle a couple things here at home before I go see my dad to go watch a movie. And part of that will be checking on Raphael. So... Thank you for hanging out today. I hope you all had a lovely time. Let's see. And yeah, let me see who we got to raid out to. Well, you know, I don't get to raid Reyna very much. And she's playing a cool game. It looks like a kind of a exploratory type of game called Blueprints. So why don't we go say hi to Reyna today? First raid message is for subscribers. Second raid message is for followers, or if you're just hanging out tonight. I appreciate y'all coming and hanging out and exploring the game. We finished Act 2. We started Act 3. I think we'll be able to finish a playthrough next week of this game, which is very exciting. Yeah, so let's get a raid started. And go say hello to our friend Reyna, see how she's enjoying that game. But I hope that you all have a great rest of your day or night or evening or whatever your time zone is putting you in as far as time of day goes. And my next stream is tomorrow, scheduled for tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, where we'll be doing our Ultimate Decades Challenge in The Sims 4. Some baby drama to happen there. And yeah, but it'll be goodbye for now, my guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Until next time, thanks for hanging out today.